preparedness. There's a storm coming, and I pray that everyone's ready for it. This world is breaking down, and it's only getting worse. Sickness, famine, economic failure, social unrest, tyranny, and much more on the way. Where will you stand when that line is drawn? Winter comes every year, but this one will be especially hard for many. Survival is being prepared is to weather the storm. Are you ready? Good morning. Oh wait, it's America now, isn't it? How's it going, everybody? I'm going to take just a second here and let everybody kind of hop in here. I'm going to talk just a little bit, about a lot of things, actually. I'm not going to make this stream too long, though. We're going to try jumping back on here again a little later this afternoon and maybe try catching a few more people. What is going on, Honeybee? Big chap, nice to see you in here. Anybody else that is going to join us along the way or catch us afterwards, it is nice to be back on here. I've kind of been on a little bit of a hiatus this past month because just a lot going on. Anybody that, Joe, what's going on? Anybody that caught my last video there? Well, twins' birthday, my wife's birthday, our anniversary. We went ahead and we've got my son his service dog. Dog's name is Goliath. If you haven't seen it yet, go check out that last video. You can get to see what the pup looks like. He's still just a pup. He's a biggin, but he just now turned 10 months old, so he's gonna be is it America still? Yeah, I can agree with that one there, chap. It's we definitely don't live in the America that I remember as a kid, I'll put it that way. I have a very fond memory of I believe we were down in Arkansas one year for the 4th of July. Some friends of my parents, they live right there on the border. And I can't remember the name of the town or nothing else. I mean, I was a little guy. But you had a whole bunch of people, and there was this massive it was a massive hill is what it was, but it was just like an open park area. And as far as the eye could see, people out there, in a picnic kind of setting. Everybody had their blankets set up and the kids running around catching, lightning bugs and all that kind of stuff until the fireworks started. And then everybody sat down on their blankets and watched all the fireworks. It was, I'm glad I have that memory. And it's kind of hard to see something like that nowadays. It really is. Let's see here. Sorry, I was going to put the thing in chat here, but my Discord is taking up space on my screen. Okay. Now, for anybody that doesn't know yet, we did start up a Discord server. It originally started out, I went ahead and added up a whole bunch of stuff to Native and Devout's Discord, and he started up a library over there. And I just wanted to make sure to get all the information out there to everyone and kind of have a center base for it. So I've got the pinned comment is the link to go ahead and go to that Discord. And there is literally well over 1,000 books and PDFs and all that kind of stuff. And there's more people adding stuff all the time. Joe has already actually added a bunch of videos along with other people have added videos. There's a section for that, but it's all informational based. My idea behind it was to go ahead and, with the PDFs, that way you could go ahead and print them out. Because if the power goes out, like everybody's kind of worried about the whole dark winter idea to where we're going to be having issues with the power and all that kind of stuff. You've got that information on hand. You've got a physical copy of it. Same thing. The internet's great. You've always got information at your fingertips every single time, as long as the internet's working. And I don't know about y'all's providers, but Spectrum around in my area has, well, it's sucked, to say the least, here lately. But anyway, so definitely go over there and check all that out. I mean, it's free to anybody whatsoever. I hope everybody goes ahead and shares it out there. If you guys want to just chill out and talk, there's a general section, where we can just chat back and forth. Any ideas that you might have that you want, maybe some of that information out there, just hit me up. I will search it down, find it, get it, upload it for everybody. What's going on, Hutch? Let's see here. Back to what I was doing. I had a squirrel moment there. I said it was going to be an open panel, and there is the thing for the open panel. Alrighty. Used to, back when I was just doing the stacking channel and stuff, a lot of people do like a mail call Monday. And, well, it's been a while since I had any mail. But a good friend of mine, Steeler Stacker, he went ahead and sent me something here recently. So I'm going to go ahead and share that with everybody here on this live. Now, let's see here. Got a little note here. I'm going to go ahead and read off to y'all. It says, hey, thank you for making and taking the time for this cool sticker. If and when I ever pour again, they are for that. To go into my poured pieces package. You did a great job on them. Thank you from Steeler Stacker. Okay, for anybody that doesn't know, I do digital work. Like my design, several other people's designs out there. I'm not going to go ahead and, throw anybody necessarily out there, but there's a lot of people out there that I've done design work for. And I do video work and things like that too, whether it be editing or coming up with intros, outros, you name it. I mean, I grew up kind of being an artist, with just your drawing and all that kind of stuff, and probably would have pursued that. But anybody that's ever checked into it, I was going to go to the Kansas City Art Institute, and well, that's a little expensive. We'll just leave it at that. So that never happened. But while in high school, I went ahead and we had a vocational school. I don't know what they might be called in y'all's area or anything like that, but the year that I got to go, they came out with a brand new class. It was called TV and radio. So I got thrown into all this kind of stuff back when I was still in high school, learning how to do all this kind of different stuff, which is pretty cool. So that's kind of helped me knowing what I'm doing with the editing and all that kind of thing, and to have a little bit of experience, because the program I was working with back in high school, it actually seems that all the new programs are based on that one. It was called an Avid editing software back then, and it was the same equipment they were using in Hollywood. So it was a very good experience at a young age. But getting back to the letter here, and then I'm going to get to a couple of things that are being said in chat. The man that sent this to me, here's his sticker originally. And that light is, let me shut that. So I got a little light going on so you guys can see my ugly mug, but the monitor's still putting off pretty good amount there. But that one there is the one he got, and I believe this one was from Flatline Racer, which if y'all don't know, definitely go check him out. He's over on Instagram. Awesome dude. He my old design for my stickers, which I don't see one over here. I've got, my desk is a mess right now, truthfully. I've got to get this thing cleaned up, find some other stuff. There we go. For anybody that hasn't been with my channel for a while, the name of the channel used to be Heads or Tails Living. And that's what a lot of people still kind of know me as. And that was our design with the two-face. Stinking light again. Shut off. There we go. And Flatline did that design right there. So that was really cool. I kind of changed a few things on it afterwards. And then, well, I just kind of dropped it because I spoke with a bunch of people, and it being two-face, once we got on down the road, it was just going to be a huge hassle, with copyright issues and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, like I said, getting back to Steelers thing here, that was his older, you know, this one here was his original, and actually it's not even his original. He's a big Steelers fan, and he used to have like a little Steelers guy with his name on it and stuff. It was pretty cool. Then him and another friend of mine got with me, and I designed him this one. And he had sent me a coin, or a picture of a coin that had basically this design on it. I went ahead and went out and found it. And you can't really see it down the bottom there, but it says Steelers Stack of Medals on the banner that we put. And so that's what I kind of do, But the other thing he sent with it, he's from he's from up there around Pennsylvania, in that area. And this is the other sticker he sent, which I find really cool. So it's got that I kind of got like a biker patch tattoo, look to it, which is very cool. Anyway, back up to it here. Eric Hoffner was talking about Argosy Farms being shut down for a while, because of all the issues they're having. And I can't really say that I'm surprised in that, for the fact of, if you looked at it last year, that they had a huge amount, of people getting it. I mean, I'm kind of surprised the other companies haven't already shut down, because if I remember correctly, Argosy Farms were the ones to last the longest last time around. So maybe that was just because they had extra product beforehand, and they were able to stretch it out a little more, or just however you want to look at it there. But anybody that's done a lot of that long-term food storage stuff, I mean, I have quite a bit, don't get me wrong, but I'm looking for other brands to try as well. It's like I've been talking to them, and it's Valley Foods, I believe is what it's called. I'm looking it up here while I'm talking to y'all too, because all I gotta do is hit my email. But let's see here. And of course, I believe I have deleted everything from them here recently. But anyway, I'm pretty sure it's Valley Foods. But I really would like to get a little more information about different ones, and maybe do a comparison. I think that would be a good idea. I know some of them you get better value, and some of them you get better taste. And to my understanding, Artisan's always been right there, kind of in the middle. You get really good taste for a great value. But since I just got taken care of that on the Monday thing. And another thing I got in the mail here recently, absolutely. What's going on, Tiger? Nice to see you in here. I do like firearms, and I'm a very big advocate on R2A and everything. I have always been an up close and personal kind of person. I love blades, whether they be, going back in time, you talking swords or axes or decent knives and things like that. So I had a chance to get, well, it's this one right here in the mail. And it was from TRS, the company. And it was supposed to be, well, either I read it wrong or something like that. But it's from the Threat Response Solutions. which is supposed to be an American company. And I'll show you the knife here in a minute. But I had one big issue after I went ahead and got to looking at it. Because see, it even came with its own little sticker here, which I thought was really cool. Got the flag in their design and everything else, TRS, and TRS Survival sitting there, or I guess it's TRS. No, it says TRS Survival. The big issue that I had is just like most things these days, and this is the Titan, by the way. It was one of those to where you pay the shipping on it and the knife is free, but of course, when you get onto one of them kind of sites, you gotta click no for about 45 minutes on other stuff they're wanting to sell you before you can ever actually just get the one thing that you want. So, I mean, it is a fighting style dagger. It's got a little bit of a serrated edge here on this side, and the blade is just, the sharpened edges on this side. It is fairly thin over here where you can sharpen it, and I'm sure I will. The steel does not seem quite what I was expecting. I have worked in steel factories quite often, dealing with 80 grade all the way up to even different grades of AR, building like semi-trailers and stuff. Because we here in town, they would get a Swedish AR in huge sheets. So the same stuff, for your metal plates, for your vest and everything, I used to deal with, and I think those sheets came in about 20 foot by 15 foot sheets. So anyway, here's the handle on it. Really nice, solid handle. Got, the nice finger grip there. Got a little spot for hammering on the end. Hole for some paracord or something in there. And it is, they describe it being over a foot long. And with the handle and everything, it is over a foot long. Now, the number one issue that I had with this knife after getting it and seeing all that other stuff, and I don't know if the camera will focus in it or not, but right there tagged, clear as day, made in China. And the Kydex sheath is even really nice, other than this little flimsy junk up here to where it's supposed to hold it in. But I thought I was getting an American-made product, and the blade says made in China. And I know a lot of companies out there, they will still order things from China, and then they'll bring it over here, and they'll either change it out or they'll do something small to it, and well, then it's made in America. No, it's not. I don't care how you look at it when it's something like that. If 90% of it was done over in China or somewhere else, and you come over here and put your name on it, that doesn't make it made in America. But anyway, getting back on the sticker subject right quick. Anybody out there, whether you're live with us right now or if you watch this on down the road, I am trying to get something started up. I've got a friend over in Japan that is part of the stacking community. He kind of hops around. He's more of kind of more stays in the collecting altogether, whether it be comic books or anything else. And he always helps everybody out, tries to subscribe to them and give them support and all that kind of stuff. But his name is Mr. Ken Titus. Now, he works with children. He works at a hospital over there in Japan, and the children that he works with are cancer patients. Now, it's one of those things to where he will get stickers from people from over here, and he gives them to the kids. And for them, of course, it's the coolest thing in the world. You get stickers coming over from America, and they're the creators. People that if they want to, they can go online and see this person. So I'm wanting to start something up to where I get everybody that can. If you don't have anything done up, that's cool. Don't get me wrong. If you want to maybe even if you just wanted to write a letter, and I'm going to get everything together and send it over. Because if anybody has ever sent anything overseas, you know what I mean by it's really not cheap. The last thing I sent over there to him was his win from my 500 subscriber giveaway, and he won a 90% silver half dollar. So he got that and a bunch of stickers. So total price on that probably would be, I don't know, $5-6. The stickers probably cost more, as many as I sent, but to ship it over there was like I think it was $28 or something, but it was one of those things. I wasn't gonna not send it because, fair and square, he won. He deserves to have it. He's a great guy. And I had talked to him before about getting some stickers sent over there because I knew that's what he did with them, was give them to the kids. And I wanted to get some more over there to him. But anyway, I'm calling on everybody out there. If you are a creator, if you're not, spread it around out there if you would, to other people as well. I would really like to start up something to where we go ahead and, like I said, just stickers. I'm not looking for somebody to try to send something really extravagant or anything like that, but just something to help brighten up these kids' day. And I'm going to start over there with him doing that in Japan. And then I would like to get any suggestions for anywhere else. Because now I'm a couple hours south of St. Louis, and up there, I know personally because my son goes up there and that's where his doctor is. But St. Louis Children's Hospital. And figure we could donate to those kids as well. Oh, one second. We got somebody wanting to hop on here, and there we go.
What's up?
What is going on, Hutch?
Living the dream, man.
Yeah, I hear you there. People would disagree with us. We're still living in America, so.
Yep. Oh.
There we go.
I'm just now getting out of bed, man. It was cold as hell this morning. I'm staying in bed all day long.
Well, it's been pouring down rain here the past few, but this morning it was actually fairly warm over here on this side.
We got 40-mile-an-hour winds. It seems to be, it's not constant, but it seems to be constant. You know what I mean? There's at least a 20-mile-an-hour wind constant. It's just wet, crappy day, man.
Shit, yeah, the wind blowing like that, I can believe it. It's like, I'm from up there north of where you're at, up there past Kansas City in that corner, and my dad said it was, because he's up there right now, he said it's pretty damn cool up that way. So I was hoping winter would kind of hold off and extend out a little bit longer this year like it did last year when it come to my garden out here till I can get that greenhouse finished off, but I don't know if that's gonna happen or not. But
yeah, Tiger down. She's down there in southern Missouri. She said this whole damn state's covered in coldness today.
What's going on, Militant? I'm trying to make sure I say hey to everybody that hops in. I don't think I've missed anybody yet that said something. So
I missed it as I was coming in. Well, I heard most of it. You're trying to get like stickers and stuff to send to chillins?
Yeah. I figured that would be just something cool. Something real simple. You know what I mean? It's not anything extravagant. Anybody that's sending it out, it's not going to cost anybody an arm and a leg. I mean, right. Don't get me wrong. I can understand stickers, buying them, the channel stickers and stuff, they can get expensive if you really go out there on them. But like Sticker Mule, they'll go ahead and it's either every other week or once a month or something like it. They have some kind of special deal going on to where you get it. I think it's like 50 stickers or something like that for $20. And there's a bunch of people out there. Even in the description to my videos, I've got a little coupon code or whatever that gives you like 10% off that as well. So I mean,
Right.
but yeah, you know, I mean, what kid doesn't like stickers? And for kids that are already having to deal with all that kind of crap, I mean, just a little gift sent out there to them, just let know somebody's thinking about them other than, you know, their immediate family, and they get a cool sticker too. So
Right. It could just
you
be
know,
my
just something to
perspective.
brighten up
But I
their
know,
day.
remember back in the day, you used to have pen pals and stuff in school. You'd have to write kids over in India or Africa or some crazy stuff like that. That's a
Yeah.
class project. It seems like it's a bigger present when it comes from a different country, because it puts like a different level of mystique on it, especially to a kid. You know what I mean? They ain't got no concept of, hey, it's a different country. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got that little extra, you know. Well, it's like when you, I hate to go back to the coin community thing up to a point, but, you know, getting a foreign coin over, you know, I don't care who you are. You get a quarter from around here, and that's a quarter. You get a quarter from anywhere else in the world, even Mexico. You know, it's like, that's kind of cool. You know, I mean,
Even a damn Canadian quarter, you see how many people flip out like, oh my God, it's a Canadian quarter. I'm like, yeah, it's Canada. No
yeah,
offense. You know what I mean?
yeah. I was like, I got people, but go ahead.
I don't know what are they called, denarii or something like that? The money that's got Saddam's face on it. I got some of that.
Yeah, that stuff's actually climbing in price right now, from the way I understand it.
Ark living, what's going on?
Ark, what's going on, brother? I can't help it. Ever since his video come out, every time he said it, all I can see, every time I see his name, all I hear in my head is freedom. Just to come out with that video, that's I mean, every single time I see his name pop up. I know a bunch of you out there, it's true too. Once you saw that video, you can't unsee it. So,
right.
Oh man.
Boring.
Yeah, I figured I'd hop on here. It's been on here and trying to get back into the swing of things, get back into the swing of doing the videos on a regular basis. I got some stuff I'm gonna do. I did a product. I don't really want to call it a product review, or more like an unboxing of that med kit for my son's, you know, service dog and stuff. But I want to keep doing more of that. I think we got another vest in the works on him. I actually had to cut a bunch out of that into that video because that was part of the Saturday premiere train that Mad Stacker puts on every morning. He gets at least 8 channels together, and everybody does their their premieres in succession. There, kind of like Saturday morning cartoons. But so we gotta have, you got a limited time amount there. But I got some new boots, and one of them. It was one of those things where at the end, when you order something off Amazon, it's got, well, people buy this usually together, and it's got that package deal, and I just went ahead and went with it. It had one of them little watches that's got a bunch of stuff on it, and one of them they call tactical pins or whatever here. It's like, well, I always got a pen in my pocket.
Boy just ordered. My boy just ordered a plate carrier, and then a whole bunch of little add-ons. He's got the little extra pouches. He's got a med kit. He's got a little cook pouch and all kinds of stuff on this thing. The only thing he needs now is the actual plates.
Oh yeah, that's one thing I thought about.
Arkansas, we got storm. You're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's one thing I was thinking about doing is going ahead and right up here in town. I got some buddies that still work at the steel shop. And, 1/4-inch AR plate from up here is, that's nothing to get a hold of, truthfully. Start talking to them, see if I can't snatch up some of that scrap and just go ahead and start cutting some plates out.
A while ago, he's been working on a little, probably 4 inches long, maybe. He's making a little knife out of 1.5 the flat plates. You know what I'm talking about? The steel plates. I don't know exactly what they're called. But like 3 or 4 inches wide and long. He's been out there with the Dremel the last 4 or 5 days, busting. He's damn good progress on that thing. He's probably 3 days away from actually being able to use it. He's gonna start making the sheath for it.
Hell yeah. You're gonna have to show that off whenever he gets done with it, or that'd been very cool to see.
Yeah, I told some pictures. He's got his channel, but he ain't been messing with it in, I don't know, 6 months or so. Because, teenagers, man. But I think he's been taking some pictures of it. Whenever he's done with it, I'll show it off. So I think after this weekend, I think he's going to go down and cut out some oak to try to make a handle and a sheath for it.
Oh yeah. I've always liked wood handles on stuff. Just it's just been a personal preference. Just something about that look, that and having the brass fitting in there, and it's just always had a nice look, in my opinion.
Right. I'm a blade fan. I like multi-use blades. But I've got 10,000 damn knives. We got a knife every 3 foot you go on this property. You're going to come across a knife somewhere. I dug them out yesterday because we're trying to get everything sharpened up. And I found I got a diver's knife that I forgot all about that I got to clean up a little bit. But it's, for the most part, it's good. The edge is just dull. But it's got the, I don't know if y'all have ever seen it, but it's one side, the end of it comes up and bends up like a crowbar almost. So you can use it as a pry bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I busted out. Got the tomahawks and everything out, getting ready to sharpen up everything. Kukris, all that stuff.
I hear you there, man. I'm the same way. I've got, even just sitting here, I normally don't have any less than 3 knives on me just on a regular basis anyway, but sitting here, shit, I've got, you saw that one I showed a while ago, right, that I just got?
Yeah.
That thing pissed me off, seeing them made in China on the blade on that thing. But I can reach over here. This one here has got flint and steel on the back of it here. And there's the striker, but it's on a little lanyard, so that way you can stick them on. Ain't got to be on this, but Milkmaid, what's going on?
Yeah, I like knives more than I like guns.
Yeah, this one here is just a mossy oak. Want to be Rambo knife, but
right.
This thing's a good solid. It's got that kind of that rubberized feel to the handle.
Yeah, see, that's what I go. That's what I like with the handle. That's the only I like that rubber because.
Yeah, if it gets wet, then it's gonna stay in your hand. That's like I gotta sharpen them up. You saying that's what made me think of it, but he's over here. Go with my my get home bag. It's a set of 2.
Nice.
And they got that glass buster, glass breaker there on the end of it. But
see, I don't have anything that's got that.
Big version and small version of it in this one thing. So
yeah, I know
Definitely
guns
short.
are shit, but I like knives a lot better. I like sniper rifles and knives. Either I'm going to be right there or I'm going to be far away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've always been. I'm pretty well the same way. I would just toss in shotguns just because, in my opinion, it's a multi-purpose. You know, I mean, the only thing holding you back on a shotgun is what kind of round you throw in it.
Right. That's what. Like,
I mean,
I'm a simple man when it comes to the concept of guns. Like, I mean, I'm not a fanatic. I mean, I like them. You know, I grew up with them, but I'm just not like, oh my god, you know, I'm gonna marry it. So I'm like, I want a 308 sniper, I want an AK, and I want a shotgun, and I want twin 1911s. That's all I need. You know what I mean? I don't need 10,000 guns. I mean, I'd like to have more, but realistically, that's, you know, a pistol and a shotgun. You're pretty much good, and you know, a nice little long gun.
yeah. It's like I was always one of those that always talked shit on Glock until I got one.
Right.
And then it's like, damn it, now I got to shut up.
See, I'm not brandist. I mean, I like to stay. I'll stick American. You know, I won't buy no damn Israeli freaking Berettas or anything. You know what I mean?
Damn thing was sharper than I thought.
Yeah, I'm simple, man. If it's everything that I've seen on a gun, whenever it fails, you know, they take it out to the range and they'll shoot it till fail. Like, I don't plan on shooting like that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, a lot of it depends on how you're treating your weapon to begin with. You know, because I've seen $200 guns last longer than $1,000 guns. So,
exactly. That's like everybody talked shit there for the longest time on the high point.
Right? Yeah, everybody was telling, because I was going to get a high point for the boy. It's only $180. I was like, damn, I can get a high point. They're like, no, you don't want a high point. I started looking into it. Like, I don't see why not.
Get one. I've had one. I ended up having to sell it because I needed the money at the time. But if it wasn't for that, I'd still have that thing. Sis, would you hand me that towel? Evidently, that knife was a little. Anyway, because somebody was doing a review. I want to say it was. I want to say it was Demolition Ranch, and it finally come down to where they basically had to hammer a bolt into the barrel to get that damn thing to really, you know, fail on them.
Right.
I'm hungry.
Okay, give me a second. Give me that towel, please. But
Milkmaid, I see you talking trash in there. What's wrong with you?
But yeah, it's, you know, like you said, and the reason I said what I did about Glock is because a lot of these newer ones that are modular, it's basically they're all basically well, I don't want to say knockoffs of a Glock, but at the same time they are. They took the principle, you know, that Glock used with the way it's made and just made another one just like it, more or less.
See, the only thing I don't like about a high point is it's ugly as hell. That's the only thing I don't like about it.
I agree. I agree with that. That I can agree with 100%. And the damn thing's so heavy, you ever run out of bullets, all you gotta do is throw it at somebody.
Use it as a damn club. It's almost like they were going for that Desert Eagle look, but they were like, oh, let's keep the weight, but not the stability to hold the 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm simple. I like some just simple, basic, because I only got 2 hands. You know what I mean? I don't need 30,000 guns.
Yeah. What's going on, Silver Unicorn? And seeing you in here, and after I was talking about K Titus earlier too, anybody watching this, if you all won on my 500 subscriber giveaway and you all haven't received what you won, please let me know. The mail is all kinds of jacked up. As far as I know right now, the only person that's actually received what they won was Tribe. K Titus is, because I had the the tracking numbers for everything, but the new pup, the first day here, the one thing he got a hold of was those damn tracking numbers. So I got no clues to any of them. But K Titus has been waiting on his package for, it's probably been a month or so now. It's been at least 2 or 3 weeks jumping around Illinois. I mean, it's retarded. So as far I sent everything out for the giveaway when I did my 500 subscriber giveaway. If anybody hasn't received anything, please let me know, and I guess I'll just have to replace it because I ain't gonna let people go without it. You want something, you're gonna get it. But anyway, back to it. Sorry, I knew Silver Unicorn was somebody that did win something. Huh? But
Yeah, snail mail got snailier. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, shit, that package going over to Japan, it left here. It went up to St. Louis the very next day that it left here, and then went over to Illinois. And I want to say we counted 12 to 14 locations it jumped around to just in Illinois. It visited Chicago 3 different times.
Damn.
Before it finally, because it even went down to Texas, and I was like, okay, cool. They send it to Texas, maybe it'll be shipped out, at Houston or something like that to go overseas from Texas. They shipped it back to Chicago. It's like, are you? It's to the point the old boy is thankfully still able to get his mail because he actually moved. So in the process of me sending this, he has already moved and is at his new location and still hasn't got the damn thing yet.
That's why I don't understand why FedEx. I mean, UPS sucks, but FedEx and the other one, what Amazon's pretty much stepping up to have the trucks to pretty much take over to do that whole damn thing too, huh? So there's really no point for the damn. I mean, with the exception of, I guess, do people still get paper bills in the mail? Because there's really no point for the post office anymore.
I do on some things. I mean, I don't like because it's like, well, I had the opportunity. PayPal every so often has a thing to where if you've done it for them before, they'll do. They'll have you come in and basically do some testing on one of the new programs, and then they'll pay you for it. And I missed out on that because my damn Gmail sent it instead of to my main primary thing, sent it to the promotions or whatever section, and I don't ever pay attention to that because shit, that's where most of my junk mail goes, is to the promotion spot.
Yeah.
But no, I hear you. I know the last time we were in St. Louis, because I didn't even know that Amazon did that until we went up there, and that's what the wife was telling me, is that they started doing that and they had a hub up there. I guess we had driven by where their hub is, because that's all you seen was a big old box trucks with Amazon across the side of it. Like, okay,
they're supposed to be building one of those down here by Springfield somewhere, a big 100,000 square foot freaking warehouse kind of thing down here somewhere.
That'll be cool.
See, we check our mail. We get mail, like actual mail, maybe 4 times a month, and it's all that junk newspaper deal, or the dear resident, here's something off a dish, or some nonsense like that.
Yeah.
But we just officially got actual addresses, like 911 addresses out here, like not even 2 years ago. So maybe that has something to do with it.
I can understand that. I've lived in areas like that. This town I'm in right now, it's a small town, but it's still it's one of them one cop towns, if you know what I'm saying. So I mean, it still has a cop, but there's only one. Oh. But yeah, the other thing I was going to kind of talk about today is, everybody's worried about everything that's going on. Are we going to see World War III in our time, or all that kind of stuff? And I kind of agree with Tribe. I think there's a lot of shit talking going on out there trying to act tough, but when you really think about what China's going through right now, they're running out of resources. They got more people than they can feed. They got more.
See, that's the one thing that gets me is everybody's like, "Oh, China's not going to do anything. They're just talking shit." Well, they are. They're building a garden that's bigger than Iceland over there right now. Like it's in the works right now. They're clearing land and doing all that stuff. So if their thing is that they're overpopulated and they're communist, wouldn't it go hand in hand that, hey, we need to have a war to bring our population down? I mean,
Yeah. Well, that's like the whole idea of, people worrying about over here being hit with nukes. I don't believe that would ever happen because they want the resources. They nuke over here, and wherever, however big of a range from, where it hit at, isn't going to be any good anymore.
But what kind of resources are you talking about, though? Are you talking about like farmland and crops and stuff like that? Or are you talking about natural resources like mining and stuff like that?
The farmland and stuff like that is kind of what I'd be leaning more towards, because I mean, right now, what is it? It's Smithfield pork and stuff like that is owned by China, actually.
Yeah, the pork place that came in before the beef place that my wife works at now, that's 90% of their stuff was sold to China.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't really realize how much of our food over here actually gets sent over there. I mean, it's really crazy when you think about it, especially with all the other BS and everything, and we're basically feeding them.
Yeah.
So they're not going to come over here, and I mean they'll use. I believe they'll still use rockets and everything, but it won't be on a nuclear scale. It'll be something to where they can come in after, clean it up, and still be able to use that area. Would be the intent behind it. Of course, you got to deal with everybody first before you think about you actually going to take something over.
See, I don't think that they would actually try to take over America because, they've got Ethiopia. They've now got, a piece of the Middle East. If they could go through India and section that off, or, then they've literally got a road, infrastructure that takes them, global domination. You know what I mean? Because they've got Africa, they've got the Middle East. India is the only thing standing in their way. Ain't nobody worried about Japan. No, nobody's worried about Japan. So it's.
Yeah, that's like like Milkmaid talked about the new Silk Road. I mean, I believe that really is a part of their plan. But the thing that had me worried about all of it is, you look at all the ships that are surrounding us right now. I mean, if you really kind of take a step back and look at it, and then you look about how recently North Korea was boasting how they had the capabilities of launching ballistics from the rail cars. What's the difference in a rail car and a shipping container? I mean, as many ships as there are all the way around this country right now, and you have them subsonic ballistics that are low flying and everything, 2 or 3 shipping containers on the top row of each one of them ships.
Yeah.
If they wanted to and hit a butt, I mean, that's checkmate right there. Just that quick, because there wouldn't be any time to react.
Right.
I mean,
see, that's why I think we're at that time in history. Like, we can't let 100 years of technology erase, a millennia of history and evolution. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Russia wants the whole Eastern European bloc back so they can have their original boundaries back. China wants India and all that so they can be China again. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people just overlook the fact that a lot of these, because we're a baby country. These countries have,
Yeah.
they're thousands of years old. This is what they do. If the whole world's at a standstill right now, where literally no country can get bigger than what it is unless they start killing folks. And so people are just getting stagnant. Like, why are we in this? We can't get bigger. We can't progress. Let's history repeat itself. Let's start redrawing some maps. And I think that's where we're headed on the next one, man. Really. I mean, we might not see it in my lifetime. I think we will, but I think that's pride is going to be more than, it doesn't have to make sense for somebody to want to go to war or to invade. You know what I mean? Ideology, you see how many places we are just for ideology. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be reason to it.
Well, see, and that's the other thing. What Joe just said here, that's kind of had me. How much goes on over there that we don't know about? I mean, it's hard to get when any information that comes out from over there is stuff that they want us to know. So, truthfully, when it comes to any of their military resources, whether it be their Air Force or their ships, like was being talked about the other day, the 1.5 aircraft carriers, I mean, how do we really know that that's it?
Right. Because you figure if you look now, it wasn't 30, 40 years ago when they dug up all those statues, those clay statues from the emperors of China back in the day. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the terracotta statues.
Soldiers. So imagine, like, they've literally been there thousands and thousands of years. We don't know what the hell they've dug. They could have a massive freaking, what they got underground. Who knows? And the technology that they use, we see the crazy stuff they come out with. It's hard to tell. Shit, they could have 1 million bombers, just sitting in an underground bunker somewhere that we never knew about. That's been dug for 200 fucking years.
Yeah, and I mean it's because if I was working on building up a force to come and do something, I'm sure as hell not going to let everybody know that I got it. I mean that's one of the basic principles in the book The Art of War. Look strong when you're weak. Look weak when you're strong.
Yep.
So making it look like they ain't got jack shit. Well, to me, that's following that suit. That means they got a lot of something hidden somewhere.
Right. Because I mean, at a certain point, if you look open-mindedly, I don't know if it'd be rational technically, but for how many thousands of years did they have an emperor that was less than 15 years old? You know what I mean? Who knows what kind of crazy stuff they built? Like, who inspired the Egyptians to just hey, let me just build a giant pyramid one day, or let me build the Great Wall. People just build random stuff for no reason. You know what I mean? Throughout history, it's been proven. So it's it's hard to tell on anything, man.
And just the fact of the technology capabilities that they have.
Right.
Give me your meter, Bubby, so we can check you, okay? But I mean, just the technological abilities that they've got going on. I mean, when we think EMPs or nukes or something like that, we think of this huge, massive thing. And I mean, even recent history has proven, a backpack will do the job.
Right.
And if they're extremely advanced in the technologies, because they're the ones that are advancing them, could a watch be next? You know what I'm saying? I mean, why do they have to have something huge to have something?
See, the thing that I'm worried about too, I mean, I'm not really worried about, but it's, one of the things that I've thought on is that, most of the fentanyl is made in China, and you see it takes what, a grain of sand size will kill a 200-pound man. You know how easy it would be to just disperse that stuff in the products that you're making and sending overseas. You could literally wipe out an entire country just by having them buy stuff from you. You know what I mean?
Yep. or the same idea there. You got them low flying missiles. Get your pack of gummies, Bubby. They're in your pack. But them low flying missiles, who's to say they're actually meant to hit and not blow up in the air?
Right.
We see planes all the time doing their whole aluminum stuff and all that, I mean, have them blow up right there in the air over the city, and I mean, it just rain that shit down on everybody.
Yeah. There's so many different things that it wouldn't take much. People forget the little things. It doesn't have to be an invasion. It just has to be a way to mess everything up for a while.
Yeah.
Who knows though? I think it's coming. I think we'll see it in like I turned 40 here in like a couple weeks. I think I'll see it in my lifetime. The WW3. I know my kid will definitely see it in his lifetime.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can agree with you. It's something that I would never want any of them to see, but I mean, it's just a matter of the fact. It's like all the craziness over here. I mean, there's eventually going to be a breaking point, and I mean, they've been doing everything they can over here to kind of push us to that point, because then they want to be. That's when they'll turn the cameras on and be like, "Look at what these people are doing. We need to do this to stop this kind of stuff." So.
See, that's the thing too that could suck. Homestead Oss, what's going on?
What's going on, guys?
The way, like I 150,000% believe that the Democrats and the media are in bed. Like I'm not trying to blow your channel up or however that works, but I think
this channel, I don't care, because I've always felt if they shut me down, I'll start a new one. We're gonna say whatever we feel like saying.
Right. I feel like they knew that there was going to be a release of the stuff, you know what I mean, that's going on right now. So I think they're all in bed with everything that's going on now. I think it's planned 100%. I do. But I think if China or another country did try to do something like that, the media would report it as me or you did it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think they would let it go on to a certain point just to fit a narrative.
Well, that was kind of like with the whole thing with that Marine coming out talking about the stuff that happened over there in Afghanistan, and then 9/11 was coming up and everything, and him saying what he did, about getting behind him. I was kind of waiting on that, that false flag moment that they would have the ability to blame, on the American people.
Right.
Well, look at this guy. He said to get a whole bunch of people behind him, and then this happened. It had to have been them, And I mean, I really believe that that's what they're going to do. There's going to be that. It's extremely funny to me that a movie, V for Vendetta. I'm sure you've seen it, or at least something.
That's the one with the mask, right?
Yeah, the Guy Fawkes mask that everybody tries to use now. Yeah, but I mean the storyline itself. The corrupt did something to the kids, so that way they could have even more power. Kind of situation, and I mean that you really look at it, that's kind of where we're at. The people that are in power are doing everything they can to take full control over everything.
See, the only thing that makes it different. See, I can't get into those like dystopian movies like that. Like I've seen that movie, but like I don't like them dark movies. You know what I mean? Because I got old man eyeballs. So you know what I mean. But it's the only difference I'm seeing between that and reality is reality still got sunshine. You know what I mean? So it doesn't give that constant doom and gloom appearance.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that separates it from reality is you watch a movie like that, you're like, oh, it's so dark and gloomy all the time. You know what I mean? So you don't really equate it to your real life because, you know what I mean? It doesn't match up visually. So it doesn't click, if that makes any kind of sense.
No, it does. I mean, they give you that little bit of good to kind of take you take your mind off the bad just long enough so they can shove more bad down your throat,
Yeah, it's like this is going on now, but look, you can still, you can still see things. It's bright and sunny and happy outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man,
You see that? Go ahead.
me
What's
and
going on,
Mayhem.
Backwoods?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Me and Mayhem was just kind of talking about that, sort of that concept. Hutch was, like people are saying, man, these food shortages everywhere. Ain't got, we can't, And I'm like, I go to my community stores and they're all full. I'm not seeing the shortages, so it's hard for me to, just like with the movie, or these doom and gloom situations, and it's like I don't see it here. It's like it's hard to imagine it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I see stuff here on this side of Missouri. I mean, it kind of comes and goes. The one down there in the Sykeston area, they were bone dry on a bunch of stuff, and then here recently, I went in there and you couldn't walk in the place because of all the pallets that they had, trying to unload stuff. So I mean, I really think kind of like you were talking about, like both of you were talking about, we get that little bit and then they pull it back a little. It's like fishing, let a little bit of that line back out, bring it, wear them down. Gonna just keep on doing what they're doing until they wear them down. So I mean,
and it could just be a big psyop to trick us that it's really that bad, so they can get us to act. Maybe they've got a final plan that they can't actually do until they start dropping some of us. You know what I mean? Maybe they want that uprising just so they can institute something else. You know what I mean?
Oh,
well, that I fully agree with. I fully believe that they're doing everything they can to get us to act first, so that way they can blame everything on us.
Yeah, they got to look good in the history books to say they didn't start it.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, though, if nobody acts up, then they're going to have to do something, because if they control the power, then they control the history books, then it doesn't really matter what happens. Right?
Yeah. What's going on, Loretta? Nice to see you in here.
howdy, Milkmaid, Tiger, Homestead Oz, Monty. Howdy, everybody. How y'all doing? There was a bunch of them saying hi to me.
That's like you were talking about, controlling the history books there and stuff. I seen a meme the other day that was talking about happy. Oh, how did he put it? Happy Banned Book Day or something like that, and it showed a list of books. The To Kill a Mockingbird and Fahrenheit 451, and they even had Huckleberry Finn on there, and all them kind of things, and they're all great literature. But if you look at them, they all kind of carry that same theme of too much control coming down from above, and that's like this whole
the same logic you got them
thing.
books from today.
Yeah. It's like that whole $600 bullshit that the Biden administration themselves is trying to push. Not only is it a matter of a purchase, if you're purchasing something 600 or more, it's if you get paid 600 or more, or if you got 600 or more dollars in your bank account. They have the right to, if it passes and everything, they're going to have the right to come in and investigate whatever the hell they want. And if they can investigate, that also means while they're you're under investigation, they can freeze that account too.
Yep.
So I mean,
even if you're suspected of being a traitor of the state or a domestic terrorist, then boom, every single asset you got is froze. It's simple, like, oh, even if the people who are trying to avoid the taxes too, if all of a sudden, boom, you get $200 or $300 bump in your bank account for doing whatever, selling a car, doing whatever, then automatically you're subject to be audited, especially if they're watching you in the first place.
Yeah, and all this going on during the time that they want us to be out there spending that money. You know, they're giving that. Oh, excuse me. Well, I mean, they gave everybody that. What was it, $1,200 or something like that? Shit, that put everybody under investigation right then.
Right.
You know, the country over.
Well, see, they're trying to do that thing to where, like Europe is doing it, to where they want to switch over because of climate change and do. We're only going to allow you to get the money that you need, not the money that you want. Is how they're trying to do it. The whole banking system in Europe is trying to go right now, and they're pushing America to do the same thing. So it's going to come to a point to where, oh, you've got a savings account? You're a hoarder. Why are you trying to keep this guy homeless over here because you got $15 extra in your bank account that you don't need to use? You know what I mean? So it's going to be one of those kind of situations. I guarantee it. Within 5 years, I guarantee you're going to see that.
Sounds like communism to me.
Yeah, they don't want you to, you know, our little backyard deals and shit, you know, like me going out there and talking to the neighbor and saying, hey, I'll cut your yard for $40, you know, and he's like, hell yeah, that's great, you know, and he gives me cash for it. They want to try to squash all that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
They want to know where every single cent you're spending goes.
Yeah.
You're accountable, but they're not.
That's it right there too. I mean, that's just like, yeah, you take anything right now, and it's funny how all of us are the ones being held to that standard, but yet you look at them and we're exempt.
That's like during that whole that first payout they did. Every one of them sons of bitches got at least $30,000 raise in their check. You know what I mean? What sense does that make? And they've been on vacation 4 times since then. You know what I mean? But they don't take a pay cut. They ain't doing nothing.
Well, when they locked everybody down, they didn't stop receiving any pay.
Right. They didn't stop going out.
You know, so that's, you know, if you're, I mean, for me, I'm sitting there looking at it like, well, you know, y'all telling me I've got to lock down and stay at home and can't go to work because I didn't get I'm an essential worker piece of paper, then, you know, y'all are not essential right now either. We don't need y'all, you know.
Well, that's one thing that kind of got me. They did the whole relief bill, but yet they literally sent millions of dollars to another country,
Billions,
for gender studies.
What
the hell does that have to do with, you know, COVID relief? I mean, if you wanted to do that or something like that, hey, you know, put that in something else, you know, whatever. But to put it into the relief package, the hell is that relieving? You know,
I honestly don't believe a single cent that we put toward to any bit of taxes should go to any other country than America, unless it is a full-blown vote. You know what I mean? Even if you got to do another national vote like once a year. Hey,
well,
do y'all want to send money to this country? Nope. Fuck them.
It's a funny thing about that, Hutch. That's actually the law because it's taxation without representation when they go in and, you know, just give our money away, you know,
right.
Yep.
and charge us more. I mean, it's because if you had the correct representation, you know, and they know this, that they would find that a lot of Americans be like, hell no, we're paying enough taxes as it is. Y'all better make that shit work with what you're getting.
Exactly.
To see,
quick, stacking points and mayhem there. Sorry to interrupt, guys. I just want to make sure I hit everybody as they come in.
Yeah, mate. Me and Mayhem was talking on the phone early, and I turned on YouTube, and I was like, well, hell, Silverback's on, man. Hutch is up there too. I'm gonna go up there. So,
and Deanne, I ain't said hello to Deanne either. I've seen that roll by too. I apologize about that.
Mm-hmm.
You see, growing up in school, what I was taught about the federal government is that it takes care of the roads and the army, and then pretty much stays out of your business. It's pretty much the role of the federal government. You know what I mean? But as you can see, we got the most advanced country in the world. We got the shittiest damn roads. You know what I mean? We got no infrastructure. The only job that they had was to take care of the infrastructure, and we literally have a collapsing infrastructure and so much debt. It makes no damn sense. Like you had one job. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like the new infrastructure bill. I think the actual breakdown of it it's either only 4% or 0.4% is actually going towards infrastructure. The rest of the money that they're pulling out is going to all kinds of other crap. So to call it an infrastructure bill, I mean, even if it's a higher number to where it's only 4%, I mean, that's still only 4% of all that money that's actually going to go towards infrastructure.
Right. And that's
That
going back
that's
to what stupid shit like starting Sesame Street back up and the damn museum there in DC or whatever the hell it is, cultural centers, it's
yeah. I mean,
infrastructure is back to culture to these people.
yeah.
I think it's just I mean, I was just talking about this the other day about, I bought a little used car to run around in, and, it gets real good gas mileage, stuff like that. And I had to pay taxes on it, and it's like 10, 12, 14 years old. I'm like, what? I mean, why am I paying taxes on this? The taxes have been paid on it. I got to looking, and it was like 3 or 4 different owners of this car, and every one of them's paid taxes on it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and now I'm paying taxes on it, and it's like, they want to tax your income. Then to spend your income, you got to pay taxes. Because anything you buy, you got to pay taxes on.
And if you scrap it, you got to pay taxes to throw it away.
Yep.
Right. Exactly.
And then you got to pay taxes to die.
Yeah. Hey, Titus, what's going on?
What's going on, Bubba? Talking about you just a little bit ago. And now they're trying to make it to where, all this green stuff, you're gonna have to pay taxes to breathe too.
Yeah, that's why everybody keeps sleeping on this Green New Deal, man. I mean, that's literally the only thing that I talk about that freaks me out, because it encompasses literally every single thing. That emissions tax they're doing, they're going to start trying to retrofit buildings. All this climate change shit, that's all that Green New Deal shit. It's not that long of a read, but it's a world changer, man. And they're doing it.
Hell, they're wanting to tax you on mileage and stuff too on your vehicle.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's because they want everybody to take public transportation. Remember what they said. They want all gasoline engines obsolete by 2030. Everybody's going to be taking a bus. It's going to be, everything is public transport. Even if you're 30 miles from a town, too damn bad.
Like they're coming out with all these electric cars, and you got to charge them damn things up, and they're raising they're raising the electrical bills. The electricity and stuff. That's going up. And I mean, so, you go and buy this high dollar damn electric car, and you got to pay all this money to get, your house retrofitted to charge it or whatever, and it's just they're just finding ways constantly to charge you more money.
Right.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense too, because if you look at the difference because they're saying, oh, you're putting out so many emissions with the gas engine, that's why we're going electric. Okay, you want to be green. Well, the battery it takes to run that car, not only do you have to charge it, so you've got the electric bill for the rest of your life, putting all that stuff in the air, the battery alone, the way that you have to get that battery out, you literally rape the land that it's around, and you can never recycle it. So it's taken 30 times as much environmental damage to drive an electric car than it does to drive a gasoline combustible engine.
And not only that, then you got your charging stations that are diesel generators, that don't have any of the emissions controls that like semi trucks and stuff have on them. It's just a straight motor with a pipe coming out of it, basically there. So I mean, you're putting off more crap in the air off them generators to power up these cars, going down the road than just to drive a damn gas car down the road.
But see, that's what these people live in a bubble, so they have no concept of that there's actually life outside of their city. So every problem that they try to impose nationwide is just a city problem that they have. You know what I mean? And you see it in every single one of them, and it makes no sense because they're planning for that utopia. Ooh, a nice clean city where, it's the Jetson cars just bubbling along. No emissions.
Not
No
nice clean city. Yeah, let's look at San Francisco there.
I was gonna
Man, that's
I was just thinking that same thing. So we're back, man. Is they're talking about this nice, clean utopia shit, and then look at what they're letting happen in their own cities. The very ones that are speaking about this, of this clean stuff, and they're you can't even walk down these people's streets without stepping over needles and freaking human crap. It's
Yeah.
like, wait a minute,
I think that's just because they haven't had a place to run them out yet. I think that's the plan for every city. You either get on the same economic status as us, or you've got to get the hell out. Because you think long term, like, okay, we can suffer for 20, 30 years of dealing with this homeless crisis. So the next regime of communists that come in can have that next clean step. Like, okay, we chase them out. That way, boom, we've got a nice clean city. Just drive them out into wherever. It doesn't matter. Just get them out of the city. You know what I mean? I think that's coming. I think it's just a whole plan to make everybody as poor, as shitty as possible. And then at a certain point, you're going to start seeing, ooh, a new way to help the homeless. We're building them sheds 20 miles outside of town. You know what I mean? That way they can, boom, get rid of all the poor people. It takes a while, but communism's a long game.
Yeah,
it'd be like the movie Judge Dredd. Was it Judge Dredd?
Yeah.
No, wasn't Judge Dredd. It was
Elysium.
Well, that one too, but no, I'm thinking of the Sylvester Stallone movie to where they freeze his ass.
Oh,
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man, Taco Bell.
Yeah. Got all the people underground and then got the people, wearing the dresses up top.
But see, I'm thinking it's going to be more like Judge Dredd, though. There's going to be walls around the city, and everybody who lives outside of those walls are going to be, demonized as mutants and, the wastelanders and shit. You know what I mean? I think that's what us rural people got coming. It's going to be all on the cities because that's all they need. They got the numbers. They got the farmland now. They're teaching people to eat bugs. They don't need us.
Got that synthetic meat,
Yeah.
We'll just go over here and 3D print it.
You see, I think that's how they're going to get us, is because a lot of us rural people that will fight are pretty much, I'm not going to go fight for a city. But that might be what it comes down to save the whole thing, is if that's all they want is cities, then we're going to have to go fight for a city. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's going to be a situation like that.
Well, if you think about that strategically, them wanting these cities and people living in them, and people complying and stuff, strategically, it's too hard for them to make people like me, people like you, Hutch, people like you, Silverback, because we're out here in rural areas. It's too hard to control rural areas. They want you in cities, these big smart cities where they can control you. Hey, you wasn't acting right today. We're cutting off your electricity tonight. Get you some of that. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. And that's you can see that kind of deal, strategically it's a good move on their part to try to get everybody lumped up into one area to where they're, in certain areas, that way you're easier controlled,
Cattle pens.
Yeah.
Everybody in their own feedlot.
It's going to turn see, I hate to keep bringing it back to movies, but y'all seen The Running Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're almost there. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, it's kind of like with what he was saying. If you think about it, that whole $600 thing, you don't do what we say, well, we'll freeze your bank account. You can't eat. If you don't have any food on hand, which we're trying to make sure you don't, you ain't going to have the money to be able to get out there and do that either. So,
yeah, you can see it pretty clearly, and just everything they're doing, that they want to control every aspect of, they don't want you making one dime without paying them taxes. The king, you got to pay the king, and his monarch, you can't be not because if you look at it, I mean, that's exactly what, back in the older days with kings and they taxed everything. You couldn't trade without paying royalties to the king. You know,
Couldn't hunt, couldn't fit. That's the
right?
king's deer.
You
That's
can't,
the
yeah,
king's fish.
exactly. So you can't, and that's exactly what they're trying to do now. And a lot of people are starting to really push back. I think it's starting to, because just like for instance the CRT stuff in schools. I was seeing where there was 10, 15 people showing up, to these school board meetings. And over the last couple of weeks, I'm starting to see more articles of, hey, they were doing this over here at this school, and 100 parents showed up, and then all the way to where I seen last night that 400 parents showed up to a school board meeting about that crap, and was like, you ain't putting that crap in our school. And that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. There are people waking up and starting to say, hey, enough's enough. And that's what it's going to take, is not showing up with 10 or 15 people. You're not going to have no voice. You're just probably going to end up going to jail. 400 people show up, 500 people show up, 600 people show up. Now all of a sudden, it's like you start to get a voice. People start to listen. You're way outnumbered at that point. And that's what we gotta keep doing.
I will say that anybody, this is just my own kind of preference as an idea, but anybody who's going to go do a march or anything like that, get the numbers, figure out how many police and everything there are in that town, get 3 times as many protesters as police. You have to cause a big enough scene and worry that it grabs people's attention. They've got 37 cops and you show up with 20 people, they don't give 2 fucks about you. You know what I mean? If they've got 20 cops and you show up with 400 people, you're going to get noticed.
Oh yeah,
Shock and awe, people.
exactly. I'm in 100% agreement. I've been trying to get folks to go and do stuff for a long time now on YouTube, and it's like, man, I understand. You got to work. I understand things. I get it. I've you know I've got a life here too. But what are you willing to give? Because just like the Cossie dude over there. To me, that's a true freaking patriot right there, willing to go to jail for his beliefs. And they can only jail so many people. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna be the one to say it. You get 400, 500, 600 freaking people show up in a crowd to say we're not putting up with this no more, and you get a couple of them stupid people, cops that say, try to jump on 1 or 2 people and get you out of the crowd, to arrest you, and 400 of them people jump on them cops and say, bud, you ain't arresting nobody today. Kind of like that Wyatt Earp movie, the Tombstone, where that Sheriff Behan comes in there and says, y'all are under arrest. And Wyatt Earp looks at him and said, I don't think you'll be arresting anybody today.
Right.
Yep.
And that's kind of, I know it sounds hard and people, yeah, we do mayhem. We do go and do stuff. And that's what I'm saying. But it's, me and Mayhem's talked about this many times. When only, 5 or 6 or 8 people show up, man, I mean, you're not going to get anything
Right.
done.
Well, for anybody that doesn't, though, I mean, I know it's been talked about before, and I think even Hutch is one of them that's talked about it. You're getting this stuff taken away from you anyway. So all this stuff that you're worried about losing, by going and standing up, I mean, they're taking it anyway.
Yep.
You might as well try to make a stand on it.
Right.
And like that stuff with that CRT crap, man, it's the people that are pushing that is the problem.
Yep.
Because when all this stuff kind of started to blow up, I mean, my kids, they see stuff, they watch YouTube here and there, and Nowadays you can't get away from some of the crap. It's out there.
Well,
Imagine the feeling of having your 8-year-old walk up to you and be like, "Daddy, are we white?"
yeah.
Because that's how my kids are raised. They don't see color. They see their buddies. That's their friends, and they go play, and they could care less about anybody's color or race or this or that. Because I mean, that's how they're being raised. So I mean, my kids actually had to walk up to me and ask me one day because it was so heavy on their heart with all this stuff going on, and flat out asked me, "Daddy, are we white?" Well, yeah, for most part, I guess. Got quite a bit of other stuff in there too, but you know, I mean,
That's why we're in that part of the relationship. Every country in this world is in that part of the relationship with it's either giving ass whooping or taking ass whooping. You know what I mean? It's time to pick one and just get it over with because it ain't gonna get no better.
Well,
It gets
and Hutch, and like with that right there being said, there's a lot of people that when I try to talk to them about this stuff, they're like, well, not everybody has body armor or wants to go out there standing up, geared up. And I'm saying you don't have to. The cool thing about this whole deal is that, there are going to be people there like me that are going to be armored up and freaking ready to protect the rest of my crowd. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have your heavy handers, and then you have the ones who have that gift of being able to, the speech and everything. And you got, when you get 400 people show up to oppose something like CRT, you're going to have your heavy handers there. They're going to be there, but not everybody has to be that, but, if you're one of them kind of people that got some knowledge and can drop some knowledge and be like, look, it does this, it does this, it does this, it's proven facts, we're not going to put up with it, you're not doing this with our children. And then when somebody tries to get heavy handed towards them speaking, then that's when the heavy handers stand up, on our side and say, you ain't touching them. They've got a right to speech, and they're going to be able to get their speech out, and you're going to listen.
But I think we've lived in this civilized world for so long now that people are scared of confrontation. Right. Everything's on a screen now. You see everything face to face. It's different. You know what I mean? Because like I've had a few people talk shit to me on here. I mean, I'm not riding my own nuts or anything, but you know what I mean? I know if we were in the same room, I know damn well you wouldn't say that out your mouth. You
exactly.
know, it's that kind of concept, so it's because y'all have seen it. Like, I know I've said some things, on here, on the internet, and in real life that I'm like, oh, damn, that might have been too far. You know what I mean? But you can tell that the majority of people are not used to that kind of thing. Everybody wants a peaceful resolution. You know what I mean? There's not that many fighters really out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
At least from what I'm seeing.
Well, that's like that saying. I mean, to actually be a peaceful person, you must know and be capable of great violence, but not take those actions.
Right.
If you're not capable of great violence, you're not peaceful. You're just there. I mean, you're insignificant up to a point.
Well, you have to understand when violence is necessary and when it's not.
Exactly.
When I was on the Capitol steps one time, I had this big guy come up to me and stand in my face, because he was on the other side of the spectrum of things. And he come and got in my face, and I was all kitted out and everything, and he's all doing this shit to me, like trying to, but he never touched me. And I just stood there. I never flinched. I never moved, and I kept my hands down to my side. You know what I'm saying? And well, I did kind of reach around towards the back there where I got that big old knife, and but it's the point of he couldn't get me. There was no point and no violence at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He man, come on, you're going to come up to me and do this shit, but you ain't going to put your hands on me. You ain't here for the violence. You're just trying to start something to make me look bad.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I'm smarter than you are. You know, you're just standing there looking stupid. You know,
I've
with
always
that.
found that the loudest person screaming in your face is going to be the last person to ever try to hit you. You know what I mean?
Oh, they'll hit you, but somebody else has got to have a hold of you first.
Right. Yeah.
Because they'll be
Yeah.
the ones to come up and sucker punch you or kick you or something like that. While
Yeah. Wait till you turn around and shit.
yeah.
You're right, Mayhem. My bad. I love my president, Joe Biden. He's doing a damn good job.
What's going on, old helmet? I seen Bushcraft jumped in here, and I seen somebody else. Where is it at?
I got to run and grab my Kool-Aid. I'll be right back.
Kool-Aid. All the cool kids got Kool-Aid.
Right.
I thought I seen somebody else's name pop up in there.
That is
Like,
definitely one of my preps. It's Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid and you know, them little mix packets, you know.
yeah, we've got a bunch of those too.
But yeah, it that's the whole thing is everybody don't understand that it's shock and awe. It's not shock and awe doesn't necessarily mean violence. It don't have to be violent. When enough people stand up, it's like I was trying to say the other night, Silverback. I was talking about a good way to protest, like let's say your governor, or let's say your you know, one of your Congress, one of your senators or House of Representatives that's in your state. Let me tell you a way that is the most peaceful way ever that will grab the most attention is you get about 500 people, you go to that representative, you know, Congress, senator, whatever he is, you know, mayor, whatever, and you go and stand in his neighborhood. Go there about 4 o'clock in the morning while everybody's asleep in that neighborhood, and you just real quiet. Don't go in there hollering or anything. Just real quiet. You move in, right? So when all his neighbors and himself, you know, and his neighbors start waking up, you know, you're just think about that, Silverback. Just think if you were asleep, you wake up in the morning, you go do your business, you know, you go to the potty, you get your coffee, whatever, and all of a sudden you look out the window and there's 500 or 600 people in your neighborhood just standing there with signs, not saying a word, saying, you know, signs saying, we oppose what you're doing. You know, them neighbors are going to wake up and they're going to be like, what the hell's going on? You know, why is all these people in my neighborhood? But nothing, you know, you don't destroy nothing. You don't go in there and litter. You don't even throw down a bubble gum wrapper. I mean, you keep it to the, you know, peaceful, and that'll scare the hell out of people, man. You know what I'm saying? It would be a shock and awe factor that the neighbors will be like coming out like, why are all of y'all here? Because your neighbor over there, the governor or, you know, the mayor is, you know, trying to do this and we oppose it. You know, it would wake people up, you know,
Yeah.
because now you're in their neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want all them people in their neighborhoods, you know, because that's kind of scary. You look out and there's 500 people in your neighborhood.
Yeah. Especially those kind of neighborhoods
Yeah.
where a governor would live. They don't want a
Yeah.
bunch of trailer park folks out there literally pitchforks and torches 2 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the same thing about getting people to go along with. There's too many that are going along to get along kind of mentality, you know. But you look back when the brown shirts were around and everything, there was a story to where the man telling the story was something along the lines of they came for the family down the street, and I said nothing because however it went anyway, you know, he didn't do one of the things that they did, and that's the reason they came for him. And then they come for the people across the street because they had weapons. Well, I don't carry weapons, so I kept my mouth shut then. Then they come for the people next door to me because they were a certain color or whatever, you know,
Right.
and I kept my mouth shut then. And then they finally came for me, and well, there wasn't nobody left to speak up for me.
Right.
You
I
know,
was
I mean
all alone.
that's kind of where we're headed, truthfully.
Yeah.
Back just a second. I got
Yeah.
something to take care of. You guys go.
It is grape
going,
Kool-Aid,
please.
man.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point, you know, because it doesn't matter if, you know, I mean, it's just look at the smoking thing, you know. A lot of people was, you know, about not smoking in restaurants no more and not smoking in certain you know, you can only smoke in certain places. And I get it, you know, I actually do smoke, but, you know, for those that don't smoke, I can understand that, you know, but at the same time, well, this is one of my rights. Well, what happens when it's one of your rights? You wouldn't stand up for me, so why should I stand up for you, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, everybody's too selfish with their shit now. That's what I was.
Right.
Everybody's a one topic voter. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's abortion or it's guns or it's, you know, cars, you know, and nobody wants to come together for the other side, but it's all the same fucking thing. That's how they can do so much. It's because people are focused on one thing and they don't care about what's going on with the other thing.
Right. No, I get it, man. It's, you know, I just tell people, I mean, I mean, you can, you know, with the thing I was talking about a minute ago with the 500 people showing up, you know, not everybody has to show up body armored out. Man.
See, that's what I think people have the wrong concept of what combat should look like. You know what I mean? I think they think the CW and all that other shit, you know, resistance, and they're thinking, you know, soldiers on their knees shooting at firefight in Afghanistan. You know what I mean? That's what they're thinking. Right. Some shit like that. But it doesn't have to be. Like, even though Antifa and the other ones turned into some coward little bitches over the last year and ain't done nothing. That's more along the tactics of what people need to be thinking. It doesn't have, it's not, you know, tip of the spear. Not everything's tip of the spear.
Exactly.
You know, a very small amount is tip of the spear.
Well, just take our military, for instance. It's only about a 10% fight that of actual fighters, you know, the military. You know, all the rest of it is all logistics. I mean, you know, intel and, you know, there's so much to the military. You know, a lot of people, I think, misconstrue the military as, you know, every single person, be it that a lot of them are trained, but not every one of them are actual frontline fighters. You know,
I'd say even a big chunk of them only went through the 6-week training course and then literally never had to do anything physical or shooty ever again. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's the whole point of it, is that we can show up 500 deep to get a point across, but not everybody has to show up, you know, with guns and, you know, spears and shit, like you're saying, you know.
Right. The military's mechanics and cooks and janitors, bookkeepers, priests, librarians. It's not just soldiers. You know what I mean? Everything has a purpose. You know? It's just how you go about it is what needs to be fine-tuned.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It's like you were saying with the shock and awe. It's a shock and awe to wake up, you know, for a senator, for instance, to wake up and at 6 o'clock in the morning to get up and, you know, start his morning, and all of a sudden he looks outside and there's 500 damn people in his neighborhood with signs and, you know, just standing there.
Right.
In a peaceful protest. You know, not everything has to be about violence.
And you know what makes no sense too either is, like, say you get 1,000, say you get 5,000 preppers to go march on somebody's house. Take a fucking tent and a month's worth of food. Mm-hmm. Test your gear the same time you're making a point. You know what I mean? Multitask that shit.
Sorry, one more second, y'all. The monkeys wanted a snack. I'll be right back.
Are you good? You know, there's so many different things that could be done, but I'm at the point where you bring me to a rally, I'm looking for a fight, plain and simple. I'm not hiding it. Like, I'm fighting somebody.
Like, buddy, it's time to bust head, huh?
Right. I mean, that's why last year nobody would take me anywhere, because I'm like, hey, we're going. I'm not holding no damn sign. I was like, we need bail money, you know. Right. What the fuck's the point in going in?
Hell, I went off on some stupid person in the Walmart the other day. I was saying fuck and everything out loud, boy. I cussed her, man. There's some old nasty looking greasy haired woman, old nasty thing, man. You don't look like she's had a shower in a week, and she's over there at the hot box touching all the damn food, man.
Oh yeah.
Like literally picking up the containers, and looking at them, and then setting it down and picking up another one. And I'm standing there looking at her like, and she makes the mistake of turning around and looking at me and saying, "What are you looking at?" Boy, I let her fucking have it, dude. I mean, the cashiers and shit was coming over like, what's going on?
See, that right there is a prime example, because I guarantee you, just from where you're at, chances are, in my area, people like that were Trump voters. They're the same people who believe like I do. That's why I don't get behind this whole, we're family, we're a community. Like, no, just because we watch the same channel every once in a while, or just because we believe in one thing the same, doesn't mean you're not a piece of shit. You know what I mean?
Right, man. I went off on her, man, and I got loud, dude, and people was all looking and shit, and I was like, man, yup. I was like, we're in the middle of a damn pandemic, and you don't even look like you had a bath in a long time, and you're freaking touching every bit of food, man. What the hell's wrong with you? You know?
You pulled the Karen card.
I did. I did.
Where's your mask?
Yeah. I went off, man, and well, I mean, why are you touching all the food, man?
That's that entitlement, man. That's why I can't eat at Casey's and shit anymore, because you always get some fat, greasy pork chop looking chick that wants to finger every single fucking piece of pizza on the damn turntable.
That's what she was doing. That's what she was doing, and I'm just like, what the hell is wrong with you? I did, man. I went off like a mother. I don't care, man. And her old man, whoever the guy was with her, I don't know if it was her husband or what, he just stood there and looked at me. He looked at me, and I gave him a look, like, dude, I'm telling you, we'll fucking throw down right now. I ain't bullshit. I don't give a shit if I get my ass whooped or not. We're going to fight in this motherfucker.
Right.
You say one word, and he didn't say a word, man. He just, fucking, man, oh, that shit made me so mad, dude. Be touching all the food, man.
The people who literally deserve nothing in this world are the ones who act like they are owed everything. And it's
Exactly.
everywhere, every race, this might be controversial, but I don't know. It's how I'm seeing it. Is a lot of these they're fat chicks with this whole the last couple years, that whole big girl movement is trying to empower them. So you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm trying to say it without being super mean. Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
People who have no place speaking up about anything or acting like that they're, it's just them.
Right. Well,
yes.
I mean, it's gotten to that point to where, we need to start turning that shit back on them, man, because they didn't mind shaming people for not wearing a mask, or, they don't mind shaming people for not getting the jabber, Well, you know what? It's time for me to shame you. Fuck that. I ain't gonna sit there and cower down. I'm about to shame you over some shit. I'm gonna watch you hard, because you touching all the food. I'm about to call you out on it and bust you out in front of everybody.
All right.
I'm gonna put that shit right back on you. Because she was one wearing a mask. So I'm sure she was probably be one to shame someone for not. Because she was sure giving people dirty looks. I don't give a shit. The hell with them, man.
Right. See, that's how it goes, man.
And that's what we need to start doing is standing up, man, and pointing that shit out. I'm gonna tell you right now. There's been that little thing go on, and I finally somebody got busted over it the other day, but them jokers going around and licking stuff and putting it back on the shelves.
Oh yeah, that dumb shit.
Man, if I seen that shit, dude, we're gonna fight. Like,
there was one, I don't know how long it lasted, but it was there was one to where you'd piss on the produce, like the potatoes and shit like that. And then there was one where you would put you would take something from the freezer and scrape it up your bare ass crack.
Man, I'm telling you, if I ever catch anybody doing that, it's gonna be a fight. Like
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's not. There ain't gonna be no talking going on.
I don't even care if it's shit that I don't eat. You know what I mean?
Right. I don't care if they I don't care if they take me to jail, man. I'm jumping on somebody if I catch them doing that shit, dude. Because
You see, is they supposed to have made it to where it's like a 10-year prison sentence for tampering with somebody's food at a restaurant?
Yeah, it's a federal like maximum crime now. 10-year crime or 10-year maximum sentence now for getting caught doing that kind of shit, and it should be.
Yeah, you don't play with food. See, that's what people need to start understanding is not even 100 years ago, you would die for food. You know what I mean? You would kill somebody for a beet farm. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Nowadays, it's okay. We'll figure something out. No, it's time to start fucking standing up and defending your shit by any means necessary. You know what I mean? Even if that means you have to travel at some point.
I agree. I've traveled a lot of hours all over this state trying to.
Milkmaid's trolling you.
I see her. She needs to be out there milking them damn cows and minding her business.
Those ain't real cows,
right?
That's just a puppy on stilts with a sheet over it.
I see her.
All right, fellas, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're all good, bro.
Snack time for the afternoon.
We didn't commit too many felonies while you were gone, we promise.
Why not? Come on now.
So far, we're still live. So,
well, you guys ain't got me banned yet. What's wrong with y'all?
Don't say it if you don't mean it.
Right. I think a lot of people just. It's I've said that too before, Silverback, and I mean you're exactly spot on. You know, everybody's afraid that to go to jail or afraid of getting fired from their job for speaking out, or everybody's afraid, but meanwhile they're steadily taking your rights away. Yeah. You know, you're afraid to fight for your rights because you don't want to lose your rights in doing that, but in the meanwhile, because you're not fighting for your rights, you're losing them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you are basically cowering down and bowing to the system. You know, I see all the time in these chats, I'm not kneeing to no one. Well, yes, you are. If you're not showing up and you're not doing stuff, you're bowing to the system. You know, and I've even had people, a certain person that I called out on YouTube on a live stream, on his own live stream, and I called him out, and he's like, well, I'm doing these live streams, you know, and getting the message out there. Fuck, we've been doing that for 2 years, and our rights are steadily getting taken away, so how well is that working for you there, bud?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of talk out there, but I mean, it just.
But see, that's why we're at that point to where people like where I'm at, Missouri. I have no reason to rebel shit in Missouri because it's the greatest state in the universe, and I'll fight you if you say different. So, you know what I mean? We don't have to plot on the government in our state. You know what I mean? So something like for me to get involved big time would have to be a have gun will travel kind of situation. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be a camping trip. And I think a lot of people need to start realizing that is okay. Just because it's not where you're at, you might have to go take a week or 2 trips somewhere to do something. So at least be open minded to the possibility. Because just because it's not at your door, doesn't mean that you're not going to be needed somewhere potentially.
You're right there, because there's a lot of people out there that want to make that statement. Oh, well, we're all human, or we're all in this together, but turn right back around and have the same attitude of, it ain't my problem. It ain't going on here. It ain't my problem. Just because it ain't going on right there, right this very second, doesn't mean that by you not doing anything while it's happening over there, if it makes it okay over there, eventually it's going to come your way.
Yep.
I mean,
right? Like, how long can you sit and talk about politics? Like, there's some channels who have literally been on here 5-6 years, constantly complaining about the same since the Obama time, and that's all they do is complain. Like, okay,
yeah,
aren't you tired of talking about it and complaining about it? I mean, you know what's wrong. Why are you still just talking about it? It wears people down, man. Like, I know some people got a niche, and that's like, oh, that's what I do. And people love to be stuck in that circle of fear porn because they know they ain't gonna get up and do the damn thing in real life themselves. So they want to live vicariously through other people who just talk. And it's fucking frustrating.
They go and look in the mirror and go, yeah, I did something. I was on that chat, man, and I said, fuck them. They shouldn't be doing this to us. I did something. No, you didn't really do anything. All you did was repeat everything that everybody else is already in agreement with, because we're on the same damn channel.
yeah.
And we're here because we all agree and have a certain like mind. So, yeah, we need to talk about it. Yes, it needs to be talked about. It needs to be brought up. Hey, look, this is going on over here, guys. We need to pay attention. Yeah, cool. But if nobody's going to do anything about it, then it's kind of just talking points, and that's just all there is to it.
Yeah.
All they did was give themselves a pat on the back. That's all it comes down to.
So yeah, like, I hate to bring it back around again, but like, some of these channels, man, you start calling these people out. Like, okay, I'm seeing you talking for years and months now, but I haven't seen you do anything. We're back to that same argument. Like, what are you doing? It's like, show me something. Make a, it doesn't, what I mean, like garden stuff or prepping stuff, or just stop the complaining and let's get back to what are we doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, everybody's just in that fucking loop right now. Like, wintertime's coming up. People are about to die. Regardless of what's going on, people die in wintertime. So, there's just so many damn things going on, but nobody's actually doing anything but talking. I mean, I know we're sitting on here talking now, but all of us are still doing shit, So that's kind of the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like I'd be out there working on that greenhouse if it wasn't for it, flat out pouring in Missouri, and I ain't gonna be out there with my damn electric drill hooked into the house trying to put some boards together in the pouring rain and electrocute myself. I mean, just my opinion. I think I could get more done, waiting another day and continuing on.
Right.
Well, it's like me going to deer camp this week. I told my cousin there's some down trees in at our deer leash. Obviously it's a lot of woods. 200 and something acres, and so I told him, when I come up there, I'm gonna haul back a load of firewood. And one of the hunting days, I actually want to like haul, drive back home and haul back a load of wood, and then go back, get another load of wood and haul it back home, and then go back. That's a lot of damn driving for me, but it's free. I don't, instead of buying, a rick of wood from somebody that's not even cured, can't get the shit to burn. I'm gonna go out there and get my own. I've got a place to do it, and that's, any little thing like that you can do, is going to sustain yourself, because like you said, I mean, people die during the winter, and they're talking about a long dark winter. They're talking about rolling blackouts, man. I mean, how would you like to wake up tomorrow morning and they announce that, sorry, but we had to cut y'all's power for a week, to conserve. So now you're without power for a week, and it's, 16 degrees outside. What do?
Right.
You better hope you got your preps, in order.
I hate to cut in here, but I've got to say something on this. It's something that Bushcraft put up here. He's talking about he's had people complain to him about his videos, where he's gardening has nothing to do with prepping. Anybody that has those words come out of their mouth needs to be slapped upside the head and called a flat out dumbass.
Right.
Okay. If you cannot see the connection between gardening, producing your own food and being prepared for, oh, I don't know, the lack of food, then you're an idiot and you kind of deserve what you get. That's the other thing that I know you all deal with as well. And I'm sure because I know several people in the chat are content creators and stuff like that too. Just the stupidity of some people amazes me. And I've worked at Walmart and stupidity still amazes me.
Right.
Some of these people. Well, that has nothing to do with this. You're an idiot. I mean, that's the only way I can look at it.
I had someone tell me in a comment that they were unsubscribing to my channel because, well, I just, all I want to do is just, talk about some of the things going on and then show some prepping stuff. And I'm like, well, my name is Backwoods and Prepping, you jackass. What did you think you were going to come on here and find?
Some backwoods.
Well, the thing that gets me about stuff like that is they want to act like they're special. I'm somebody. I'm gonna unsubscribe. Fuck you. Go unsubscribe. Go tell 10,000 people to unsubscribe. I don't really care. I'm a nobody right here. I just happen to go ahead and jump up in front of a camera and on a mic. Ain't nothing special about me. Ain't nothing special about you.
Right.
Just because you think, because your mama told you you're special. I'm sorry, somebody lied to her too.
Right on.
I mean, I'm absolutely fed up with this pampering bullshit that we have to deal with nowadays. I mean, I'm afraid I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings or something like. Fuck their feelings. Flat out. Facts don't care about your feelings.
That's right.
And I mean, being pampered isn't going to do anything but hurt you in the long run. Because when reality comes and smacks you square in the mouth, you ain't going to know what the hell to do because ain't nobody ever told you what to do.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing about it is we can't. It comes a time to where, yes, it's going to be necessary to punch people in the face, but not everybody that shows up has to be the one throwing a punch. Okay. Just the fact of having that many people there, is a shock and awe, especially if you got the first 10, 15, 20 guys in front of that group of 500 that is ready to knuckle down, and you're going to, out of that 500, you're going to have folks in that crowd that don't mind to knuckle as well,
Yeah.
And when they start to see, I mean, how many times have we seen the Proud Boys like go, and chase Antifa down the street, and yet before nobody, Antifa just run roughshod through wherever they wanted to. And then when folks started standing up, it only took a certain amount, in the front of the crowd to start whooping some head, and them some bitches went running down the street, and because they had a big crowd behind them as well,
Right.
So that's kind of the thing, you can come up and talk about taking my lunch money, but when I bust you in the mouth for it, you don't want to try to take my lunch money no more.
Yeah.
And that has to do with rights,
Disclaimer: most of the time.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Right.
Well, that's just like, I mean, that's how I was raised. I mean, you don't go out and you don't start crap, but you don't take any either. You have a group of guys come up on you or something like that, and a fight's going to go down. You don't take off running. You grab the biggest club you can find or something like that, and you take out the first 2 or 3 coming at you with extreme brutal force, and the rest of them some bitches are going to think twice about taking that next step. I mean, you may whoop my ass, but a couple of you going to the hospital in the process.
It's the exact, with a mob or with a circle of friends, is the exact same thing. There's a natural hierarchy that automatically occurs. You know what I mean? When they say that's why chop off the head of the snake. You know what I mean? That's all that has a purpose. Most people are sheep. If you got a group of 5 or 6 dudes, I guarantee you at least only 2 of those people are probably going to actually want to throw down. You know what I mean? The other 2, as soon as they see their heroes or their their leader fall, then they don't know what to do with themselves because they ain't got no direction. There's sheep in every fucking thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Well, that kind of goes hand in hand back with the guerrilla warfare during the time of the Revolution. Because if you think about it, back in they would have the British should have their higher ups, their generals or whatever, sitting towards the back of the field, up on that horse in that red coat. Our guys would snipe that sucker right off his horse, and they'd call us all kinds of names in the book for it. But you know what? Then everybody down the line underneath that person didn't know what the hell to do because they didn't have any orders coming down. So the
Exactly.
fight was over right then. You know.
See, that's why it's called strategy. There are no rules in war. You don't have to abide with the Geneva Convention and all that other shit. Real war, if you want to make a real change, there are no rules. You do it, take what everybody's done and do it completely different and the same all at the same time. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. Is you're there to win. It doesn't matter how you win. You're just there to win, plain and simple.
No such thing as a fair fight. Just the fight you walk away from. I mean, you can either be carried away or you can walk away. But I don't mean walk away as in turn your back and run. I mean coming out on top.
Yeah, do you read what Oz put there? Are they using that noise shit on you guys down there?
Apparently.
That sucks.
Damn.
Well, that's where you get your snipers at, and you have them take out that.
Yep.
You start firing directly at that energy weapon.
Yep.
That sound weapon.
Oh yeah, because isn't technically or one of the top 5 snipers in the world was Australian, wasn't he? I do believe.
Probably.
So I know y'all got some snipers down there.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Hell, one of the pellet guns that I've got over here, you pump that sucker up enough, and I mean, something like that, you'd still be able to take out with a good enough hit. And the one I got's got a scope on it too, so you're not even firing an actual, firearm. But
you don't have to pump up my pellet guns. All you do is pull back that charging handle. That's the pellet guns I use.
It's just a big pellet.
Well, mine don't need that one I got. They don't need a silencer. That thing is as quiet as can be. But man, it surprised me. I ended up getting it off somebody, and I've got my guns, but that one there, you pump that thing up. I think it's only like 10 times, and it'll straight go through a half-inch piece of oak. At a distance, and it's like. It's got some power behind it.
I had one of those airsoft AKs, the full metal one that had the official weight and everything, battery powered. At a full charge, that thing would go through a damn leather jacket.
Mm-hmm.
That thing was nice.
I think that a lot of people need to understand. I mean, just like over in Australia, if you're willing to stand up and fight, then you got to be willing to go the whole way. Because standing up and fight, and the first time they do something and you back down, then they've got you.
Yep.
See, I know it's going to suck because it needs to happen. It's going to suck for a minute, but it needs to happen. Is once all them protesters walk 2 or 3 blocks down the road, there's 3 or 4 cops just laying on the road unconscious right behind them. You know what I mean? Whether they ever get back up again is a different story. But that's things like that need to start happening before anything's taken seriously there. If they're going to retaliate, it's going to be fucking rough. So it's like once you commit, you're in it. You're in it till it's done. You know what I mean? There's no going back to normal.
I mean, we've talked about this before, and it's. I'm not just trying to, coddle to anyone or anything. But let's take Lynn and them over there at Homestead Oz. I mean, they're literally in a situation right now where they can even get in trouble for being on the internet in a group like this.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yet they're willing to stick their necks out to the fullest extent. Them are true patriots. Them are the kind of patriots we need here. That's the things we need to do here is you're willing to put it all on the line, because if you don't think that our forefathers didn't realize that they were putting it all on the line, because if they would have lost, they would have been executed.
It would have been the guillotine back in.
They lost their wives, they lost their children, in the most brutal fucking ways, and they kept going.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Some of these people watched their families burn to death because of what they believed in, but they kept fucking going. You know what I mean? It's going to be some hard decisions, but hey, what's it worth to you? You know what I mean? That's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not willing to go all the way to the death, there's this little saying right here. I'll put it up here. I'll put it right here behind me. This little saying, if you think about what that saying means, you're right there.
Yep.
Liberty.
I knew that's what it was going to be.
Liberty or death. And how far are you willing to back that statement? It's easy to say, yeah, give me liberty or death. Hashtag liberty or death. Well, okay. Are you willing to back that statement up 100%? Because if you are not, then you're not in the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to lose. If you're not willing to back that statement 100%, we're going to lose. Period.
Yeah, and the real problem is there's too many people that are just way too comfortable and complacent these days. I mean, they're okay with being told what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and they're okay with that. I mean,
that's because they got no family structure. You take the father out, every child needs that structure. You know what I mean? You see everybody who got discipline and all that stuff is extremely grateful for it now. And you can tell the people who didn't. And it's the same kind of concept. You get rid of the family structure, then nobody has any, it's kind of like free for all. When you look up to somebody else to lead you and teach you how it's supposed to be. That's when government plays big daddy, like, hey, we'll raise you, we'll teach you. People are happy.
I guess that's what it is. Cause I mean, I honestly can't wrap my head around it. I mean, that's how I've always been that way. I've never been one to be told what to do. It's the only reason I didn't join the military right out of high school is because I had too big of an issue with being told what to do. It was the only reason I didn't join.
Right.
I'm one of those, you tell me to do something, I usually do the exact opposite just to, give you one of those right there kind of thing. But
well, yeah, it comes down to the whole fact of, just I'm gonna say me, for instance, stop pushing all this bullshit on me because I don't agree with it, and why should I have to agree to it or do it just because you think it's correct? And the fact of, you leave me alone and I'll make my own way. I always have. I've always made my own way. I don't break the law doing it. I go out and work for my stuff, and I'm not out trying to steal people's shit. So why am I the bad guy? Because I'll stand up to some bullshit. Well, you know what? I think y'all are the bad guy for bringing the shit up. How about that? I mean, they already, people sometimes are afraid to say anything or whatever. And the whole fact of it is that you're being labeled a bad guy anyway. So why not label them bad guys and say, pissed off with y'all's bullshit? Because that's the whole point, is they try to convince you that, to get you to not fight, because, well, if I do this, man, I'm going to be a bad guy. I'm going to look bad. Well, screw that, Meanwhile, they're taking your rights away.
Yeah.
Everybody's worried about the now. It's like, if I decided to do something extremely stupid, big if, hypothetical, air quotes,
right,
it would have to be something that would be, I don't care about the perception now. I need to think about what would it look like 200 years from now when that's in the history book. You know what I mean? Something along those lines. That's how I kind of figure out, you know, how I kind of want to do something. Because what people think of me right now don't mean a damn thing. Because they've literally called us everything under the book. We're rapists. We're racists. You know, domestic terrorists. There's not a single thing that they could call us that they haven't already. So it's who gives a shit what they think and what they're going to label you. They've already done it. You know, get out there and cause a scene. Shit, fuck them. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean that I just don't understand how we've gotten to such a point where we're worried about offending people. You know, I mean, offending people used to be funny at one point. You know, I mean, that was the whole stick
Right.
when it came to comedy. You know, you get a comedian up there, he'd work his way right on through the crowd, offending everybody. You know, and it was funny. Even the person getting, you know, hey, you're a dumbass. You know, it was funny. And I mean, I was always told growing up, you know, get a thicker skin or the whole sticks and stones, you know,
Right.
thing. I mean, what happened to all that crap? Now, if you say something that offends somebody, you can go to jail over it. You use the wrong pronoun or this or that, you can be put in handcuffs because that is such a bad thing when there are people doing horrible things to kids out there and they seem to be getting a slap on the wrist. You know, what the hell
Hell,
kind of society do we really live in nowadays?
they're letting people out of. They're still letting people out of jail and out of prisons. They're pardoning the hell out of folks, man.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why crime has went up 200% in their city. You know, it's like, well, you let all the fucking criminals out, you idiot.
Right. That's what I'm a big fan of the death penalty, and it pisses a lot of people off. I don't know why, but I believe every single state should have the death penalty. With I understand that some there's innocent people in prison. Yeah, I understand that, but hey, greater good. There can be a way to compensate the family if somebody is proven to be innocent, but for the majority, some people just don't deserve to fucking breathe. As we're sitting here, we're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars per person living in a cell for 60, 70 years. It's like, why are we wasting so much money? It's just a lot, and it makes no sense. I miss the firing squad. Bring back the gallows. You know what I mean?
Well, see, in my opinion, right there, if they would take someone that's done something to a child and literally go to that city square and hang them high and
Yep.
let them some bitches sit there for a week, that's going to be a message to everybody else out there. This stuff is not okay. You do not do this.
Right.
It's not as they're trying to push it nowadays, it's not a sexuality or a sexual preference. No,
disorder.
You're messing with kids. It's not okay. End of story. Period.
Man, the person that said that to begin with, that started that little clique of folks that started that shit about how it's a sexual preference, and to try to make it okay, they should have been gathered up right then and dealt with accordingly. I mean, just plain and simple.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how you look at it, kids are protected.
I catch you. I mean, I'm just gonna say it right here on this live stream. I catch someone sexually abusing a child, and I'm killing that person on the spot. That person dies that day, plain and simple.
And I'm taking it to jury trial. I ain't even sweating. Like, jury trial, I'm not guilty. Let's go.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it amazes me at how far we've. And I mean, just from me being a kid, and I mean, okay, but I'm 37 now, so I mean, but just from me being younger and all that, just how different it is, because I can remember going around, and when we were kids, it was sun come up, get your rear out of the house and go play.
Yep.
Be all over town and everything like that. No trouble whatsoever. And nowadays, my kids, I can't do that. I mean, I really can't just kick them out the door and be like, go play as much as I want to.
But see, if you look back, like Are we so scared now just because there's so much information? Like we think, oh, everybody's going to grab our kid, but it's really not that worse. I think it's actually, well,
I honestly believe there's more of them out there nowadays than what there was. I mean, they were them kind of people back in. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, literally from where I'm at, where I live right now, 2 blocks that way. 4 months ago, FBI kicked the door in on a dude's house over all that mess. Come to find out, it was somebody that when my oldest, that's 20 now, was playing little league and t-ball and all that. He was actually one of the guys that coached or that umpired or something like that. Had something to do with the teams and everything.
right.
You know, so I mean, it's somebody that I had met before and talked to face at the games and everything like that. You know, and I mean, they caught him with all kinds of stuff. You know, it's
You
and
know,
to know that was just right there.
yeah, they tried to so there was this dude that he had got caught doing some stuff to a child and went to prison. Well, when they let him out, he tried to move into our community, and somebody found out about it and went and put his poster, a picture of him, put posters up everywhere, and put what he was charged with and all that, and he lives at such and such street. I went around to them posters and drew a target right there on the foreheads of all them posters.
Yeah.
Drew targets on his forehead. That dude didn't stay long. He moved pretty quickly.
Because I know every neighborhood we used to move to, we get on that, I think it's crimewatch.com, and you can check the area around where you're at, and it shows the sex offenders and the charges within a certain area of your house.
Yeah, and I mean, I have a little bit of a viewpoint on that whole sex offender thing up to a point. I mean, don't get me wrong. You did something. But unfortunately, there's some people that get put on that list that,
Yeah,
you know, like a trucker or something like that, taking a whiz out. I think it was talked about the other night. You know, taking a whiz out between the tires or something, and somebody rolls by and calls the cops on them. Well, you know, indecent exposure, you're on the list now or something. You know, like give me a break.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I like looking it up, because like I won't judge people, because like my old man, he'll sit there and he'll piss at the damn gas pump while he's pumping gas. You know what I mean? But it's 6 houses in the whole town. You know what I mean? Sorry, I understand.
Yeah,
you always got to check. Like a dude's 19 and the girl's like 17. He's got a pissed off mama. You know, you got to check.
Right.
You could cost someone life. Always check.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I pulled up to the boat ramp and had to piss, and hey, I'll open the door and take a piss right there at the boat ramp. I don't care if there's people there or not. If I got to piss, I got to piss. I ain't gonna pee myself.
And it all depends on who sees you too. Hell, I could be out here pissing in my front yard, and some tourist from New York could drive by and get offended. Boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never know.
Well, that's why I said, can't you turn that shit around on that person? That person call you in for indecent exposure. Hell, I'm on my property. You're a peeping Tom right now. I'm pushing charges on you. But I mean, I grew up in a little bitty town. Might have been 100 people, overall in that town, and that's really pushing it, truthfully. But it wasn't nothing to drive around town, see somebody like Hutch was talking about pissing off their front porch. Like, hey Joe, how's it going?
Hell, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to just to the dollar store, between here and the dollar store, and seen so many old men with the ass of their overalls ripped out, just bare ass cheek hanging out, and they're just walking around downtown square like ain't nothing going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Things are crazy, man, and I mean, it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. I don't know. I guess when they start gathering folks' kids up, man, and not, because of whatever reason, and they say, well, we just decided for the greater good, you don't need to keep your child. I guess maybe people will start to stand up then. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take.
Well, somebody better say a prayer for anybody that ever tries to come take my kids. Is all I can say, because they're gonna need it.
That's
I
why I'm
mean,
glad the boy turns 17 next month. You know what I mean? So it's pretty much he's the baby. So we ain't got to worry. You know what I mean? We're like, whew, all right, we like literally perfect timing with that. We took him out of school last October. Like I called the school and I asked them. I was like, tell me about the CRT. Like I want to know everything that my kid's going to be doing this year. And 30 minutes later, the principal basically said, called me batshit crazy and hung up on me. Because, I was like, I don't want that utopian bullshit. He was like, oh, you got a vivid imagination. It's nice talking to you, and hung up on me and shit. And now I'm looking back like, see, that's
yeah.
every school in the country. I'm like, look, I feel validated a little bit. You know what I mean? I was like, man, timing was great, though. So,
Well, thankfully, the school that these ones here go to, it's a good school. They got the people that work there are really kind of on our level, I guess you'd say, and they really have the kids' best interest at heart, no matter what the situation is.
Yeah, our school's really good too. Like that. All the teachers and stuff are just here local.
Yeah.
People. They all live here in this county. I mean, they're it's so it's pretty cool at our school. My daughter goes there, but my son is homeschooled. So
Well, that's like they started talking about that whole green zone, red zone junk, and they ever tried that, that's going to be an issue, because with Big Man over there being a type 1 diabetic, he falls into that high risk category, because of the diabetes and stuff. And anybody ever try to take him and put him in a location that's going to make him safer away from all of the rest of us, yeah, ain't nobody in my family getting on any bus, or we ain't getting on that train.
see, that's the thing. Anybody ever considered the fact that what if they declare your area a hot spot? Like, oh, your county, your city limits is a hot spot, and they come in and literally grab all your children from school, an hour after school starts, put all your kids on buses and take them somewhere, and then they individually call you guys, like, hey, the kids have been sent to this location, please report here and shit.
yeah, my kids already. I taught my kids about that stuff. I said if buses start lining up in a weird part of the day, and you see people in like suits or anything like that, coming in and saying, hey, y'all must get on the bus, we're going to take y'all to a location and we'll call your parents. I taught my kids, I said, you get away, because where we live at, and I took them and showed them the route they need to take to get in the woods, to disappear and everything, to be able to make it here. And because that's one of the things that could be a very good possibility of, like, with all this Jabberwocky stuff. They just go to an area that has a very low percentage of Jabberwonkies, and they go gather your kids up and have you report. And when you report there to get your kids, then all of a sudden there's a a group of armed men that say, okay, in order to get your kids, you're taking this. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, that might be a good thing to discuss with children. Just set up a game plan for something like that. I mean, if they're old enough to understand the concept.
Yep. Yeah, it's a very good point right there.
But you have to be able to distinguish too, because if you have a disaster or something like that, I mean, they could play it under the guise of, like, I know this is a bad example, but like a tornado or a hurricane. That's a bad example, I know. But like, hey, this is happening. Get on the bus because we got to go here. One of those kind of things. I know that's a bad example with the hurricane and shit.
I told my kids, don't fall for any of that crap. Come home. And probably, and of course now with cell phones, unless they block the cell phone calls or whatever, I mean, in a small community like this, we're going to pretty much know pretty quickly. Word's going to get spread around real quick what's going on. I can guarantee you here a lot of armed, pissed off parents is going to show up.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't taking my
So,
kid anywhere.
okay, what if they? This makes more sense. What if it was under the guise of a school shooting? What if there was a school shooting? So they had, once everything was calm, they put the kids on the bus and took them somewhere. Think that would work as a good cover? A lot of people would go along with that.
Yeah.
I can agree. I think a lot of people would go along with that. I think it would have to be in a larger setting than like mine here locally, because
Right.
you
You probably
I mean,
100,000 in that town, probably somewhere in that range.
yeah, because I mean, here something like that happened, everybody in town would be up there probably before they could ever even get one of the school buses around the front to know what's going.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, yeah. And with me, I mean, I can walk out this door right here of my shop and walk to the edge of my shop building, and I can see the grade school. And I can walk out to my front yard over there, and I can see the high school. So if any gunshots start happening, I'm going to hear it. Up here.
Yeah, I'm not that close anymore, but I used to be pretty well like that. I was right across the street from the high school. I mean, just a little side street that they had more or less for the buses to go around back of the school, and I was on the other side of it there.
Or
But
they could say, hey, there was some kind of gas leak or some kind of chemical, so we have to take all these kids to this location to clean them. You can't argue with that.
you still have a lot of arguments in this area. Be like, well, we'll come and get our kids and we'll take care of it. It's just the mentality of the people in this area.
Yeah.
I got to show you all this right quick because I keep getting my foot stomped on here. Little sis is one of the artists of the family, and she wanted y'all to see her Pikachu.
Oh, look at that. That's a good drawing.
So
Oh, yeah.
She wants to make sure everybody gets to see her Pikachu while we're on here.
Good
Huh?
stuff.
There we go.
Hello.
Everybody seen it and said they
That
like
looks
it.
good.
A ninja.
Yeah,
It's a
you're
good
a ninja. Come on. Okay. You saying hi to? There's the artist. Okay. Everybody said it was beautiful, sissy. Say again.
I said, tell her you owe her $5 for that picture.
Dad, where do we put these pots?
Just put them up for right now, Bubby.
I think I put them on my leg.
But yeah, I mean that would kind of be the mentality of it around here in my area, in my opinion. Anything big going on, it's gonna be we'll be right there to get our kids.
Right.
Because I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody here in town works and stuff, but we got farmland all the way around the entire town. So a lot of the families around here either are the farmers themselves or work for the farmers. So something like that come in and somebody's gonna be here in town to hear something real quick.
Yeah, I heard it too, Milk. Or I guess I'm just throwing ideas out there. They could just use the school as a quarantine zone. It wouldn't take but an hour to throw a fence up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that clicking too, Milkmaid. They're tapping in on us, listening to what we're saying. Did y'all hear that clicking a minute ago?
We wouldn't talk about, but nothing how much we love Joe Biden.
Right.
I didn't hear
I
it,
ain't
so it
fuck
may have
Joe
been
Biden.
it may have been these monkeys over here doing something in the background because I didn't
No,
hear it.
it was
No, It was.
it was
digital.
almost like a beat. It was kind of tapping.
Yep. It was
Okay.
digital. It was tick 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 tick.
Any of them Google assholes or anybody else wanting to come on and say hi, I can I'll put it here in chat again. I got no trouble with it.
I don't care. They can. I've told my wife. I've already had that talk with my wife. I'm like, I get on these live streams and I talk about it, and And plus, you know, she knows I go and do things. And, you know, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if the FBI don't pull up in my yard someday. I'm surprised they hadn't already. I don't even care. I don't care. I ain't doing nothing illegal. You know, if they want to come here and question me, I'll question them right back. I'll be like, well,
Yeah.
hell, y'all, you know. So, see, there's that noise again.
Yeah, see, I'm not interested in inciting anybody to do something stupid or, like you said, I'm not doing anything illegal whatsoever. I'm just stating my personal opinions out here on what's supposed to be a public platform. And beyond that, that's it.
They're tapping into us.
Yeah, I heard something kind of in the background that time.
Hutch is he muted and it quit. See,
I'm a
Hutch,
fed.
who are you over there, Hutch?
The
Exactly.
CIA. Bring it.
You been playing us up this whole time, bro?
Hey, just because I'm big brother doesn't mean I don't love you little guys down there. You know what I mean? I'm here to help. Trust me.
I'm here from the government. I'm here to help.
Right? I'm the good government. I'm not one of those guys.
But that's just like I'm pretty open with who I am and everything else, you know. I mean, I'm not. I see so many of these people get on here that are so fake. That's
Like
what
Barry,
gets me.
like I lost my guns in a boating accident. God, I can't stand that dude. It's like I have went off before. I'm like, man, you lost your guns in a boating accident. I was like, you need to sell them, man. You don't have them for the reason they're you know.
Well, Hutch put out on his community tab the perfect response for that one, in my opinion. If you got to say something like that, then it's too late. You need to be using them.
Yeah.
However it went something like that.
Yeah, there's too many cowards. That's back to the community thing, man. Just because we like the same stuff doesn't mean we're the same people. You know?
Exactly.
Well, and the funny thing about it is number one, if you say I lost my guns in a boating accident, the first thing you're doing is admitting that you got them. Okay, so you're already telling off on yourself that you have guns. Second thing is they already know you got the guns anyway. If y'all look, people say, well, there's not really a gun registry. Well, there really kind of is, because
Yeah.
fill out that paperwork, you know, unless you buy it from an individual. I understand all that. You know, there's always somebody that's, well, I got all mine from individuals. You know, nobody knows I got them. Okay, good. You did great, brother. But for me, I don't give a shit if they know or not. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I go buy my guns where I find the best price, and I don't give a shit if I got to fill out some paperwork or not. So they can kiss my ass. Yeah, I've got this gun and this gun. So what? You know. But the thing about it is that, you know, them little pieces of paper you fill out when you buy a gun. You know, y'all do realize that they still write serial numbers and stuff on them gun on that paperwork. They may not tell the FBI what that serial number is, but see, the FBI has a thing in place in the ATF that they audit all these gun stores. So they come by and audit them, and they look at all that paperwork, and they see them serial numbers. You know, this is why you see these videos of them throwing a fit about how they, you know, some of these feds and stuff has came into these gun stores and they start trying to take pictures of shit, you know, and that's why they're collecting that information, man. I mean, that's why they do that shit. I mean, so they're practically, you know, there is a registry. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, is it just me or is Backwoods glitchy looking? Like Silverback, I'm clear. Backwoods is glitchy as hell.
It's dark in here. I ain't got no lights on. Let me turn the light on. See, I just turned the light on right there, and it fixes it. It's just because I'm sitting in here in the dark, man.
You're still a little on the glitchy side. I mean, that took care of your green screen issue, but it's still just a little.
Yeah.
It's like your signal's a little on the rough side right now.
Yeah, it's
You're making me feel like I smoke too much, man.
Yeah, I'm perfectly clear, Hutch. That's just you, man.
No, that's what I was figuring.
Yeah, it's
only two in your hair.
It's our internet. It went out completely last night because that storm come through.
You guys getting storms today? We got hit about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we got hit about 3:30, 4 o'clock. It started, even up to 5 and 6 this morning. We got lightning alerts and shit. It was lightning and thunder booming and all that good stuff, and wind blowing hard. And but it's both the internets went completely out last night. We got 2 internets here, and both of them went completely out, and so they're probably working on our internet right now. That's why I'm glitchy. I'm freaking Hutch out. Let me turn my camera off so I don't freak out. Is that better, Hutch?
It's just these gray days, man.
Right.
Like on the gray days, my eyeballs don't want to work right.
Right. I understand that.
That's why I understand why everybody up in Seattle and Portland and all that, everybody wants to kill themselves because it's like 90% gray. That would be depressing as shit to live up there.
Right.
I couldn't do it.
I'm gonna be shutting this down here in just a little bit, guys. I gotta get some a whole bunch of stuff going for supper and all that, but want to take a second right quick. It says we got 18 in here watching. I definitely appreciate everybody that's stopping in. More than all hell appreciate you two for hopping up here, just shooting the shit. Anybody that hasn't been over yet, I'm gonna link it again in the chat right quick, and I'll go back later and put it in the description or comments or something like that. But there's the Discord for anybody that does have one. I went ahead and I put the library that I put together, and that's all that Discord server is. There's one room for chatting, just bullshitting or whatever, but I tried making all the other rooms to where it separates out the information for there's thousands of stuff over there. Anybody that wants a hard copy of anything. So I would definitely recommend checking it out. I keep trying to add to it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, and tonight, Native's got his deal that me and Pepper Tribe and Prepping Outside the Box is going to be on. It's called The Setup, and it's
last week's was awesome, man. I'm digging that.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Yeah,
we're going to do it again tonight. So
I'll definitely try to get in and watch. I've been that's like I was wanting to be on my Ghost this Saturday and go ahead and do some canning and stuff too. I've got some chicken and some okra, and I had all kinds of shit ready, but I'm sure everybody else can kind of say a little something. Damn sinus thing going around in this area, just it kicked my ass. I mean, and I know that's what it was a sinus infection, but
yeah, Milkmaid, Native had talked about that of having me and Prepping Outside the Box and Prepper Tribe on the first go around, and then
have a great night, Homestead Oz.
And he's talking about putting getting other people on there starting next week, I believe.
I'm on there with Milkmaid next week.
Okay, cool, good deal.
I will destroy her ass.
You gonna destroy Milkmaid?
Everything she says, squashing it.
Yeah, caveat for everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
You only got one leg.
Right.
I want to honestly hop on there and try that Prepperty stuff. I was watching that and I've watched quite a bit of it, and I'm one of those. I'm sitting back over here and it's like, I know the answer. It's my luck.
Yeah.
I'd get on there and it'd be like that time. Which one of y'all did he do? He did it to where it was basically nothing but about books.
Oh, that was me, Ghost, and Dangerous.
Yeah, man, just absolutely messed y'all over.
Yeah, that shit. You whooped our ass on that one.
Yeah.
Hey, is today Monday or Tuesday?
Today's Monday, Columbus Day, because the kids are out.
Okay. Prepperty's tomorrow, right?
Tuesdays, yeah, I think that's right.
Right.
Heck, I have trouble keeping up with what day of the week it is as it is.
I went for about 13 years not knowing how old I was. I did not care. It's crazy.
Hell, I was calling myself one age, and I said it in front of my mom one time. She goes, "No, you're." I was thinking I was a year older than I was, and she was like, "No, you're only this age," and I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay, well, whatever." You know, it's like,
I feel you. I usually got to do the math. I can remember what year I was born, and then I got to think about it. It's like, okay, I'm this old.
Right.
so, yeah, but come over and watch tonight. If anybody out there that watches this or been watching or watching right now, just come over and hang out with us tonight. We're gonna war game like crazy.
I hit my reminder for it yesterday.
Everybody, go ahead.
I hit my reminder for it yesterday.
Oh yeah.
I was just gonna say, yeah, definitely. Everybody get over there and check them out. And anybody watching this at a later time, check out these two guys right here. Their channels, great stuff, awesome information out there, and several people in the chat here. If I can ever figure out how to make sure the chat replays. I think I've screwed that up every single time so far, but I'll get it figured out. But,
yeah, I'm about to be making. I'm gonna make a hunting video. Actually, 3 or 4 hunting videos. I'm gonna do one that's got some comedy and stuff in it. I've got with Mayhem. I already talked to him about it. You know, some of my ideas and stuff, and he's gonna help me edit some stuff. You know, and make it a lot better video. And yeah, I'm gonna make some different ones. You know, and talk about, you know, because it's off grid up there. There's no electricity, no running water, no nothing. You know, we go and stay for 9 days at a time when we go up there. So it's, you know,
hell
it's
yeah.
a little, you know, so I'm gonna make some videos about that. I mean, even just, you know, it's something to think about and shit hits the fan. Even whore bathing, you know, what they call, you know, I mean, kind of keep yourself clean, you know, and it's an interesting time when we go to deer camp. So,
What's going on, Husky? But yeah, you got anything coming up as well, Hutch? I mean, other than you said you're gonna be on.
Since it's a crappy gray day, I've got to go play husband and sit and listen to the trash TV with the old lady. So I'm going to be editing probably the last Medhead video of the season. And then yesterday I literally built an entire set because I'm about to do a whole bunch of board stuff with toys and Hot Wheels and stuff and make a slow motion thing. So I'm just going to be like 7 years old for the next 2 weeks out here playing in the dirt.
There you go. I think everybody needs to go back and do that at least once or twice.
but have you, Silverback? Have you ever seen that video that Hutch made with the action figures?
I did. It's been a while, and well, my memory's not that great. I'm one of them that I got to write shit down.
I still say that's one of the best videos I've ever seen. Like straight up, man. It was just so creative, and you know, and him getting that piece of mail, you know, and that peel and dude, that was just freaking awesome, man. It was just perfect.
Drugs.
Good for you.
I have to go back and watch it again just to make sure, because like I said, I'm coming up on be a year for the channel and be 4 years since I had my incident, and they put me on the vent then, and ever since then my memory ain't squat anymore. So, but all right, fellas, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off here. These monkeys are kind of getting wound up and everything. I appreciate y'all being on here. Everybody, thanks for watching. We you know, we'll catch y'all around. You guys take it easy.
All right, guys.
See you, brother.
See you later, bud.